Okay, good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes. We will now reconvene the regular meeting. And I would like to note for the record that Board Member Dr. Alvarez is absent this evening. Dr. Perez, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I sure can. Wonder if I pick this up. Yes, I'm going to improvise. If you can put, thank you. All right, right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I want to recognize that our district and school campuses are located in the village of Pasbenga. I want to acknowledge that this land we refer to as Orange County is the unceded and traditional lands of the Gabrielino Tongva Nation and the Juaneño Band of Mission Indians, a Hachiman Nation. These lands were taken through a process of colonization, physical and cultural genocide. I want to pay my respect to elders, both past and present, as well as the Tongva and Hachiman youth who have attended and are currently attending our schools and in neighboring districts. At this time, we will move to our report of action taken in closed session. Ms. Quiros, do we have any action items to report out?
We do. In closed session, by a vote of 4-0, the board took action to appoint Lazaro Pita to the position of Manager, District Safety Programs and Compliance. Moved by Board Member Lebsack, seconded by Ms. Brazier Aceves. Board members with a yes vote, Ms. Brazier Aceves, Mr. Bustos, Ms. Lebsack, Ms. Magdaleno, with Dr. Alvarez not present. That concludes action taken in closed session. And I'd just like to add a few comments here for interpretation services into Spanish. Please see Mr. Vargas, who is sitting right behind me. Para servicios de interpretación al español, por favor, pase con el señor Vargas, quien se encuentra sentado detrás de mí. Should you require ASL interpretation, please take a seat in front of the room to your left. Child care services are being provided in room 126. Se ofrecen servicios de cuidado de niños en el salón 126. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Quiros. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. As president of the Santa Ana Unified School District Board of Education, I am honored to recognize the extraordinary collective effort across our district and community in support of our students and families through our immigration support plan. In December 2024, our board took action to reaffirm Santa Ana Unified as a welcoming district for all students. A resolution I helped bring forward, informed by my experience working alongside many of you here tonight, to support efforts advancing inclusive policy for immigrant communities. That resolution provided clear direction to the superintendent to develop and implement a comprehensive immigration support plan to meet the challenges we foresaw ahead. For over a year, we have witnessed how harmful immigration enforcement practices, coupled with a lack of due process, continue to impact the safety, the well-being, and the stability of our students and families. And in the face of this injustice, the level of solidarity we continue to see across Santa Ana is powerful, marked by coordination, compassion, and an unwavering service to those directly impacted. To date, our district, together with many of you here in the room as our partners, have delivered over 140 workshops, reaching more than 14,000 participants. And that's roughly about half of our households here in SAUSD. We also, together, were able to train over 1,000 staff to ensure every school site is prepared to respond with care, clarity, and consistency. This work represents all of you showing up day after day, workshop after workshop, for over a year. This evening, we recognize the individuals and organizations who continue to meet this moment of profound challenge for our families with purpose, courage, and dedication, and whose actions ensure our students and families feel supported, connected, and safe. So thank you all for being here. Let's give you all a round of applause as we get started for all of your hard work. So we begin by recognizing our teaching and learning and student support services teams, whose collective leadership ensured that support for families was aligned, coordinated, and responsive to student and family needs. To our staff across these departments, thank you for creating learning environments that remain safe, supportive, and grounded in student well-being. During a challenging time, you quickly established a clear, unified approach, aligning efforts across departments and ensuring schools had accurate information, clear protocols, and the tools needed to respond effectively. You supported sites in implementing consistent guidance, coordinated access to resources and services, and worked with school leaders to address needs in real time. Through your collaboration, you ensured continuity of learning for all students by facilitating short and long-term independent study options, including access to the Santa Ana Virtual Academy, which offers instructional flexibility while maintaining essential academic and social emotional supports. And our Sava Academy is something we're very proud of here in our district. We have one of probably the most robust virtual high school offerings where our students can maintain the continuity of learning while not having to sacrifice the types of classes and the diverse options of classes. They get to participate in different classes with different teachers and peers, just as closely to what they would experience on a comprehensive high school site. So we're very, very proud of this work. I want to thank you all. Your work reflects a strong commitment to supporting the whole child and entire family. And to our family and community engagement team, your work has been at the center of much of these efforts. Through your workshops, outreach, and direct support to our families, you created access points to receive critical information and assistance, whether through providing guidance on Ayuda Sin Frontera, citizenship support, housing resources, immigration guidance, creating partnerships, or bringing in mental health services. You ensured families are not navigating these challenges alone. Not to mention, you also, as a team, manned our resource line. And I know that you were getting calls day and night, so thank you to the team for making that happen. To our SAUSD mental health team, members across the district, thank you for providing care, therapy services, and stability during moments of immense stress and fear. You have supported monthly workshops that help families understand mental health, manage their stress, and access the resources they need during these challenging times. You have helped not just students, but entire families, helping them process uncertainty with dignity and care. Your compassion, expertise, and steady presence continue to strengthen the well-being of our school communities and remind families they are not alone. Thank you to the many school sites and staff across our district who have gone above and beyond. And I'm talking to all of our educators who are watching from home as well. This work really takes the entire district, and I know at every site we have educators working, pouring their hearts in and day out to make this happen. Educators like Ms. Erica Nunez at MIT and Alitzel Pereira with Mitchell, who create intentional safe spaces for newcomers on their campuses, something I've had the opportunity to see in action, and coordinate food deliveries to families when they have been too afraid to leave their homes. And I will say that a lot of our staff have done this work out of their own hearts, on their own time, as part of our coordinated effort, but it doesn't stop there, and so we see you and thank you. We offer special recognition to the counseling teams at Guzman Elementary and Madison Elementary for hosting workshops that gave families practical tools to navigate difficult conversations and build resilience during stressful moments. And I know that those schools have seen a lot of the brunt of immigration enforcement in our community. And so when I saw the work that you all were doing, I was just so grateful that you really stood up and stepped up to the moment to support our families. So thank you, and I know that it could not have been easy, so thank you. We also recognize Valley High School for creating inclusive, engaging, on-campus activities that help students be supported, connected, and seen. And these are some of the types of activities that I'm really hoping that we will start to see unfold throughout all of our campuses. And I know that there's more work that's already being done. But really we've talked about taking our immigration support plan to this next step of really bringing it internally to our schools and making sure our students have access and know that, hey, if you want to talk about what's going on, you don't have to handle these pressures and stress alone. There are people, safe people on campus and through the district that you can speak to. And so that's access to information and campaign that we are rolling out. Together, the commitment of our school sites and educators have made this support visible and accessible across our district. It is because of you that our students and families continue to show up each day with trust, knowing they are safe, supported, and welcomed in our schools. And I'm very proud to say that because of the work that our school sites and staff and district staff, along with our partners, have been doing, our students have been showing up. We have not seen a correlated dip in attendance related to immigration. So that is because of all of you that our students have access to continue learning and feeling safe to do so. So at this time, I want to invite our SAUSD team to come up and be recognized. So if you're on our SAUSD, any of the teams that were mentioned, and please come on up for a photo. And then, yes. Okay. You want to come up to the middle of the horseshoe? So invite the board up to take a group photo, and then we'll do this for each of our groups. So thank you. Thank you. We also extend our appreciation to the Mexican consulate and consul titular, Inez Mahaira Baltazar Gutierrez. Your presence and that of your team has been essential in providing legal guidance, documentation support, and reassurance to our families. Thank you for your work to proudly represent the diverse experiences and contributions of our community members from Mexico while protecting their rights under the U.S. Constitution and international law. And I have to give a special thank you to Maestro Fernando Aceves Preciado for the work you do each day visiting individuals who have been detained by ICE and providing them and their families with essential information and support. This is heavy and important work that you carry, and your partnership is deeply appreciated. And Consul Baltazar Gutierrez, would you please join us for a team photo with the members of your team and yourself?
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Gracias.
And let's take a photo with our board. Okay, sure. Come on up. And at this time, I'd like to invite Consul Mahaira Baltazar to share a few words on behalf of the consulate.
Thank you so much, President Bracer Service. Thank you so much to the Santa Ana School District Board for having us here. This is very meaningful for us at the Consulate of Mexico because, to be honest, most of the work that we carry out in the community wouldn't be possible without strong partnerships like the one we have with the school district. So we want to thank you for this opportunity to serve jointly to our community. But also, we want everyone to know here at the board, but also all the people attending this meeting and listening to us, that we want you to count on the consulate as a resource to you, as a backup to you, to your families, because you're not alone. We're here to support you, to serve you, know that that we care for you. And thank you again to the board for this wonderful partnership, and we look forward to continuing working with you on this very important mission. Thank you so much.
And we would also like to thank the Office of Orange County Supervisor Vicente Sarmiento for standing alongside our district and helping connect SAUSD families to county-level resources. Supervisor Sarmiento co-hosted workshops for our families to make sure they know about all resources the county provides, including supports for housing, mental health, Medi-Cal, CalFresh, and more. Our gratitude extends to the Orange County Healthcare Agency and the Orange County Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs for providing critical services, including health access and resource navigation. These county partners played a key role in creating safe and welcoming spaces for all, supporting mixed status families during periods of immigration-related concerns, and ensuring access to essential services regardless of immigration status. And for that, we are very deeply grateful for your leadership. So we'd like to invite the supervisor and OIRA and the Orange County Healthcare Agency up for a photo and to be recognized. And at this time, I'd like to invite Supervisor Sarmiento to share a few words with us.
Gracias, señora presidenta, y a todos los miembros de la mesa directiva. Muchas gracias por este reconocimiento. Thank you, everybody. I'm Vicente Sarmiento, Orange County Supervisor for the 2nd District. I apologize. I'm very under the weather, but I didn't want to miss this. This was really, really important. But I do want to also recognize two other people that are with my office, Carlos Valenzuela and Richard Santana, who've done tireless work to work with all the partners. To Jose Serrano with the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs with the County of Orange, and also our healthcare agency and all our social service staff who feels connected with all of you in doing what we're doing. And really, this wasn't intended to be something that you get recognized for. This is just something that we stood up. So, and we follow the lead of your students and your faculty and your staff, because they're the ones who inspired us when we saw everything happened this past year when our community was brutalized and continues to be harmed. They were the first ones to go outside and rally and march and inspire people like myself and a lot of the lawyers in this room and judges who stood up. And thank you, Jose Alfredo, for being also, a strong voice in the legal community. Right now, lawyers and judges are the ones that are on the front line. But to all of your faculty, I just want to say, thank you for taking care of our students. I am a product of this school district, so this is especially important to me. And I wish I could say it was over, but this journey, unfortunately, is going to continue. And we have strong partners, and we're a strong community, so I know we're not going to let it defeat us. I'm just glad that we are a team together, and that we're unified in this, and that we will overcome this as well. So thank you on behalf of all the employees and workers at the county. We know how strong and how important it is to have relationships and partnerships with you all. So I appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do at this district for keeping our students and our parents safe, because those parents can't be out there. Your students are here on their behalf. So muchas gracias. Es un honor. Gracias.
Thank you, Supervisor. And I just want to take a moment to just acknowledge how special this moment is to have all of these incredible folks and community leaders here. And as the supervisor was sharing, I was thinking about Jose Serrano, the executive director of OIRA, or the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, and the fact that Orange County has an Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is so important. And I think it was important at the time when it came about, and it's even more important now. And it gives me hope. It gives me hope. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you to our county partners, social services, and healthcare agency. Next, we want to recognize the leadership of the Santa Ana City Council and the broader City of Santa Ana team and staff. This includes council members Jesse Lopez, Jonathan Hernandez, Ty Viet Fan, and our very own SAUSD teacher, ethnic studies teacher, and councilman Benjamin Vasquez, who advocated for the creation of the Rent Stabilization Office, as well as the Ayuda Sin Fronteras program. During a time when many families are experiencing uncertainty, these leaders step forward with clarity, compassion, and purpose. City and district staff have worked together to connect more than 150 of our district families to critical assistance through the city's Ayuda Sin Fronteras Fund, providing rent and utility support to those most impacted. And as many of us know, some of us have been directly impacted with family members who were afraid to leave their homes over this past year, afraid to go to work. We have students who are afraid that they're going to be evicted because their parents can't go to work because they're afraid. And so in a time like that, this partnership between the city and the district has been instrumental and so encouraging to see our solidarity for our families and all of us coming together to support them. In partnership, city staff have also led renter protection workshops across our district, bringing much needed information directly to our families. We are proud of how these Santa Ana leaders have risen to meet this moment, not only in words, but through action. City council members and City of Santa Ana guests and employees, please come up to be recognized. Join the board for a photo as well. Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite up Councilmember Vasquez to share a few words.
Thank you so much. It is these times that define who we are, and setting the narrative straight for what you're doing today and bringing the community together of how much work we have all collectively done. And the city, I am proud of the work the city did, but we did what we had. That's what we should have been doing, right? But the community itself rising up in the streets. Lucha Santana, Defensa Santana, OC Rapid Response. El Centro Cultural de Mexico has a pantry. La Colmena, we have a farm, has a pantry with OC Collective Aid. Libro Mobile has a pantry. All the work done by Erica Robles and Help Across Borders have been doing great work. The FACE group giving out food and driving to families during the summer. We came together, and you're telling the story. This narrative needs to be told. Santana is this. These are Santaneros care for each other. This is who we are, and we love each other. And we have that story at Valley High School. Thank you for recognizing that story that we do in our altars. We put it for our Valley de los Muertos, and on the murals we have on the walls. This story is already being told of what happened last summer across. So this narrative is about love and care and resilience that us Santaneros have. And I want to applaud everybody. Thank you all for coming out here. My homegirl was in here. We made these posters for Women's History Month, but also she didn't show up today, but I got her poster and her FaceTime because she's amazing work. She's been doing work. I want to thank, I want to thank Supervisor Sarmiento and Association of Raza Educators, giving us the space to train educators at his space. We were able to train educators last summer. La Santa, who gave us a space to have a concert, and we raised $18,000 for nonprofits to support. There's just more groups, and I'm forgetting all their names, but you guys were amazing, Santana. Keep doing the good work. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Councilmember Vasquez, and all of the staff and the team from the city. Thank you for your work. I know your work with us has started before our immigrant support plan, and little did we know how timely and needed that collaboration and partnership would be. So thank you. And I also want to say, again, thank you, because as Councilmember Vasquez was sharing, I was reminded about all of the folks I see in the room, elected officials, executive directors, staff, nonprofits, who came out to support our community, not only in our workshops, but out in the community, to rally with our families, to show that sense of solidarity publicly. And so as Councilmember Vasquez was sharing who we are as a community that shows up for one another, there's just so many beautiful examples of the resilience and the beauty of Santana and our families here in the district. So thank you. And We also want to recognize our education and community-based partners, beginning with someone who has selflessly dedicated many, many hours of their time. And please don't bill us because I think your hours may be quite expensive in your profession. But we'll begin with former SAUSD Board of Education member Jose Alfredo Hernandez. Thank you. Through your leadership, you helped connect families with free legal resources, actively participated in regular Know Your Rights sessions, and I saw you in many of them. These were sometimes 3-hour sessions, right? And you were there to the end answering every single question from our families, so thank you. You worked alongside community partners to ensure families had access to accurate information and support, so it was a beautiful blend of having the Mexican consulate, having our Abogado Hernandez there with us to kind of just be able to provide all of the information and just actually really answer all the Q&A. There was lots of questions every single week, and you guys stayed till the end, just kind of tag teaming that information and access for our families. So thank you. Your outreach, advocacy, and willingness to meet families where they are have made a meaningful impact during a time when trust and guidance are essential. And I think the word trust, relationships, you were there every week, every month, and so also our families got to know who you are and build trust and be able to rely on your advice. So thank you so much. We also want to thank the Orange County Justice Fund and SoCal Legal Aid for ensuring families have access to legal representation and accurate information. They also partnered with SAUSD to host our monthly Know Your Rights workshops. We also recognize the Community Health Initiative of Orange County, or CHIOC, the Orange County Rapid Response Network, and United Across Borders for their advocacy, rapid response efforts, and direct community support. CHIOC made sure supports were provided and information was given regarding Medi-Cal enrollment and connecting our families to much needed mental health and medical resources, which is so important during these times where access to Medi-Cal and the rules are ever changing, and especially for our mixed status families to be able to have that direct support with an agency that provides services that are culturally relevant and competent is so important. So thank you for your work. The Orange County Rapid Response Network made themselves available for immediate family needs and made sure our families were safe and protected, and we're just always a phone call away for our staff, so thank you. And United Across Borders provided much needed food assistance when families were afraid to leave their homes, even for months at a time. So I know we always see you out at our events, at events in the community, helping to deliver food to our families' homes. So thank you. We can't thank you enough, Erica Robles. And finally, we recognize Santa Ana College Adult Education for expanding opportunities for our families through education and workforce pathways, from ESL and GED classes to leadership and citizenship classes, allowing our families to learn about civic engagement and the naturalization process at a time when folks have a lot of interest in finding out next steps and becoming a citizen. So thank you for your partnership, Santa Ana College Adult Education. And I'd like to invite all of the aforementioned groups in our education and community-based organizations to come up and be recognized.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So in closing, to every individual and organization recognized tonight, your work has made a significant difference in the lives and education of our students and their families. When our community was threatened, you stood up in solidarity against injustice and led with your values. You provide families with critical resources and the reassurance that they are not alone. You create options for students to stay connected and continue learning, even in times of immense fear. You exemplify what it means to be a community. You have proven that in Santa Ana Unified, we do not stand alone, we stand together. On behalf of the Board of Education, thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you to your families as well for being generous with your time. I know it's a lot of time out in the community after hours with us here in the district and at our events. Thank you for your leadership, your compassion, and your commitment to our students and families. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and we look forward to continuing the work together. Thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you, everyone. As folks are exiting, we can go ahead and continue with our meeting. But again, thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight to be part of the celebration and recognition, and thank you for all of our partners for all of the work that you do for our immigrant support plan and all of our staff across all of our sites. We see you, so thank you. And next, We can wait for them to close the doors. Okay. I love it. The celebration continues in the hallway. Our communities deserve joy. This is great. Okay. Next, we have Dr. Perez with the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I was kind of chuckling because I know how much, as an extrovert and someone who loves to celebrate people, that Miss Caitlin Brazier-Sevis wants to be out there with them. So I thank you. I will jump into my report for the evening. I have 2 celebrations of our students and then a few celebrations of our staff. So our Century High School E-Business Academy had a huge milestone accomplishment. They were able to actually participate in the Youth Business Summit in New York City. For the first time in 25 years, they were able to advance to the national competition in their realm of the youth business. And this is the E-Business Academy that is also supported by High School Inc. We have a very strong partnership with High School Inc., and it is a lot of the resources and supports that they provide in conjunction with our CTE pathways that was allowed for our students to be able to really hone their skills and be able to compete at this high level. Unfortunately, they did not take the championship, but they were placed 4th. And it was a really great showing for them and very exciting and up minute by minute. I know the interim principal, Dr. Clark, was updating us, letting us know how things were going, and we were fingers crossed, you know, as they were advancing, and just super exciting. And I want to acknowledge our students and just express our gratitude to their families for the investment of time that was made there in order for our students to compete at that high level. So very, very proud of our Century students in the E-Business Academy that were able to represent us on that national stage. The next recognition, if you have not been able to participate in this event, I invite folks to do so. It was this past Friday, and it was our SAUSD Track and Field Invitational. It was hosted at Saddleback. It was an amazing event. All of the energy, I caught the tail end of things, but the energy was so high, and just celebrating our students. And the students represented there are special education programs from across the district. And this day was really focused on inclusion, participation, and celebration, allowing for every student to really compete and shine. And we were kind of joking about just like how, you know, just seeing that energy there, like kids were putting their everything on the line. I was like, I would not want to go up against them. Like, they were ready to take people down. Like, they were just, you know, phenomenal. And it was so beautiful to see. And then, you know, they were not shy to articulate what they were accomplishing. There were a lot of videos taken that day of our kids, and they're giving their testimonial about how proud they were of themselves. And I love seeing that, because they were not, you know, shy about it. They were like, yeah, I've been practicing and I put my everything out today. And it was great. It was really great to see. So if you have not been able to participate, I would invite folks to about the same time every year, so end of April-ish, kind of mark your calendars for that, and invite you to come on out. So thank you. And thank you to our parents that came out to celebrate alongside their students, and you know, just other family members as well. So it is that time of year where we're celebrating what seems like all of our staff, and sometimes it can get feel like we're just kind of mixing folks in, and I want to give people their due. We have so many great people in our district, and really by classification, calling people out, you know, we can't do the things that we do in serving our students without all of these people. Without our librarians, we could not do the things with, you know, with promoting literacy and getting students access to high interest books to read. Without our after school professionals, you know,
lots of families would be at a loss for what do their students do, where do their students go, how are they cared for, and so really recognizing our after-school professionals. And we have such a robust team. I actually get to see them probably more than some folks because they live upstairs near me, many of them, in this building. And just, I see the planning and I see the energy and I hear the conversations they're having around the things that they're planning for our students. And so I just, again, gratitude for all of the work that they do. And then our administrative professionals, I will say, Karina and Rosie, I mean, they work with me, and I'm gonna not be shy to call that out. I can't do anything without them, so I deeply appreciate them both. And then I know that all of our teams who are fortunate enough to have folks support them in that way, that we just deeply appreciate you, and we know that sometimes things aren't easy. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces, and we're doing all of this. I don't want us to lose sight, and I want us to always be reminded we're always doing this to serve ultimately our students. And I know that as I talk to folks who serve in that capacity, their hearts are there. Many of them, their students attend our schools and have attended our schools. And so just, want to lift them up and give them that moment to be recognized as well. And then our School Nutrition Employees Week, like really, we'd be starving. Like we wouldn't get through the day. And so I can't underscore how important their work is. I had the opportunity to experience, walk in their shoes just for literally, a few minutes, and just know that they get up early, and the sacrifice they make of that early rise to make sure that they are, helping to prep the meals for our students. And then, last but, definitely not least, our school principals and assistant principals. Again, I talk about this very openly within our principals meetings. We all are here as staff to support our school leaders. That is a very challenging job, but such a rewarding job. And then the assistant principals really wanting for, them to have the opportunity to grow into that school principal if that's what they desire, giving them good, opportunities to do that in conditions. And so, yes, a lot of thank yous, a lot of recognition, but I wanted to really call out and talk specifically about each group because it's so important, and really in a system, one missing piece, we don't operate. And so everybody is so critical, especially as we talk about high academic achievement and what we want for our kids. Everybody being all in on that is super important. And I appreciate each and every one of you for what you do and showing up with that mindset every day. Thank you. And we were able to acknowledge. There's applause for you guys. I don't know if you can hear that if you're watching via YouTube. So we also, want to recognize our employees of the month. I was able to be at one of the recognitions, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But we'll start with our Certificate Employee of the Month with Teresa Mata Acevedo, and she is a teacher at Taft. She's been a teacher in our district for 27 years. And she has provided supports to students in both special education and general education. And I love seeing this actually. This is when a teacher leader, like she puts forth that extra effort. She's part of, not just part of School Site Council, she's the president of School Site Council and the department lead. And so just a lot of gratitude for Ms. Teresa Mata Acevedo for everything that you do. And I love that your staff recognized you and were the folks who lifted you up and wanted you to be recognized. So congratulations to you. And I was able to be actually at the classified employee of the month at Sava. And it was really, really neat. Valeria, she had no idea that we were there for her, and they were having a staff meeting. And so we were able to just pop in and say hello. And I just was kind of, talking with folks. She didn't know that we were actually there to recognize her. And when she did, she just was like, I don't know. I don't do anything special. I don't know what this is about, but that just shows you people and their humbleness. And people see you. And so I'm glad that Valeria was recognized that way because people see her and they see the work that she does. And I thought about an attendance clerk at a virtual academy, that must be wild because you don't physically see the kids. So you're just like, are all the kids here? Who do I have to call? Where do I have to go? What do I need to do to make sure that they're accounted for and that they are actually here? So we were kind of talking and joking about that as well. And she serves such a big part of the school community when you have such a small school and campus. People are jumping in and doing a variety of things, and she too, is always supporting different school events, the testing, and all of the daily operations. So, just a shout out to both of them for, being our employees of the month. And then lastly, I will move to our administrative appointments. And I do want to welcome somebody who is new to our district and was not able to be with us last month, but we are super excited for him to be here this month. And he is our Executive Director of Facilities and Operations. This is Mr. Sergio Zazueta. So we gave a little background on Mr. Zazueta last month, and just so that folks know a little bit about him, he is coming to us most recently from Community College District out in San Bernardino area, has worked for Fontana Unified as well as Disney. And so I was talking to the team about, our customer service and just, what those expectations are when you are a cast member. That's a little different than being an employee. And that means something. And so we just look forward to what he brings to the organization. So welcome. And last but definitely not least, we are excited to share that Mr. Lázaro Pita, Larry, as he is known to all of us, was approved tonight for the manager for district safety and compliance. And I had to call him Lázaro because that's what's appropriate. Wasn't going to get away without that one tonight. And so Larry has been a part of our school community for quite some time, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him through his various roles. And so we're just excited about what he will bring to the supports to our DSOs and to our, district in general. I was joking with folks and said, I have high expectations. I say this all the time, have high expectations of everyone. And I count on Larry to help, shepherd all of our DSO teams along to just be better and better and better. And so that's what I know will happen under his leadership. So thank you. And with that, that does conclude my comments for the evening. Thank you so much, President Brazier Aceves.
Thank you, Dr. Perez, and congratulations again to new members of our team and members of our team in new positions. So, felicidades, congratulations. And next, we have our student board member reports. Mr. Abascal, we will begin with you, and you will have 3 minutes for your report. Thank you.
All right, so I want to share some information regarding AVID. We got information from Amy Holt, which is an AVID teacher at Middle College. So we're thrilled to announce that SAUSD students were recognized at the OC AVID Senior Awards Night at UCI on April 15th. Our students earned a remarkable $85,500 in scholarships, which is a testament to their dedication, perseverance, and college readiness that AVID cultivates in every participant. A moving moment in this ceremony was when an SAUSD alumni from Godinez, who is now an AVID teacher in Newport Mesa, shared that he was an award winner himself 11 years ago and that AVID changed the trajectory of his life, which is a sentiment to how good our AVID program is within the SAUSD school. Additionally, I also wanted to share that there was an alternative high school volleyball tournament held this Saturday at Century High School. It took place between Middle College High School Circulos and Lauren Grisette. All the games were competitive, but Circulos ended up winning the tournament. And I also wanted to share and take this time to thank our incredible Dr. Emily Wolk for meeting with both me and Yaiza this week. And the past week, we went over student district data. We were able to learn more about the district's process and understanding student needs through the Panorama survey and the LCAP survey by seeing the anonymous aggregated data and how the district works with student input to address student concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Abascal. And next we have Ms. Gomez.
Hi, so I want to start off first with speech and debate. This past Saturday and Friday, we had Last Chance 2026. And from this tournament, we were really proud to congratulate Godinez Fundamental High School students Isai Alamia and Catherine Reda, who have qualified at Last Chance to compete in the main event category at the 2026 National Speech and Debate Tournament in Richmond, Virginia. Isai qualified in Program of Oral Interpretation, or as we like to say, POI, and Catherine qualified in Dramatic Interpretation, or as we like to say, DI. They're going to join a district national team that includes 18 nationally qualified middle school students from McFadden, MacArthur, and Mendes, as well as 8 supplemental high school qualifiers from Santa Ana, Middle College, Saddleback, and Godinez. It's just a testament of how great our speech and debate program is. And the next thing I want to talk about is also our Santa Ana Math Cup. So on April 25th, 228 mathletes in grades 4 to 8 participated in the annual Math Field Day competition. 21 dedicated educators from 17 schools volunteered countless hours to lead 57 teams to the final stage. This year's theme brought real-world sports scenarios to life through 3 core team challenges: Breakout EDU, Engineering Tower Build, and Numbers in Motion problem-solving tasks, which are actually inspired by the biggest sport event of this summer, the FIFA World Cup. A special thank you to our coaches, administrators, and volunteers whose dedication made this high-energy event possible. With more than 40 complex puzzles solved per team, our students showed exactly why the future in SAUSD adds up. Lastly, I just want to talk about Santa Ana High School girls wrestling team for the 2025-26 season accomplishments. I want to congratulate those that really put in a lot of effort. It's a lot of names, So these people basically qualified in Empire League champions. They were CIF Division I dual meet champions, CIF Eastern Division individual champions, Southern Section Masters in 4th place, and California State in 8th place. Individually, Hayden Ayers qualified placed 3rd league, Andrea Navarrete placed 3rd league, Michelle Rodriguez also 3rd league, Yahaira Marmolejo 2nd league, Mary Ann Quiñones 2nd league, Marley Cepeda was league champion. Isabella Garcia was also league champion and 7th in CIF. Olivia Lavanderos was league champion and 6th in CIF. Annabelle Serratos was league champion and CIF champion. Gabriela Martinez was league champion and 2nd in CIF and 4th in Masters. Eliana Salazar was league champion, CIF champion, and 2nd in Masters. Marley Nelson was league champion, CIF champion, 3rd Masters, which is top 12 in state. Tiffany Nguyen was league champion, CIF champion, 2nd Masters, and she also placed in top 12 state. And finally, Angelica Cookie Serratos was league champion, CIF champion, Masters champion, and state champion, and she is currently ranked 3rd in the nation.
Wow, our students are incredible. Thank you, student board members, for sharing out that incredible success of all of our student groups. Thank you. And next we have public presentation. Ms. Quitos, do we have public presentations this evening?
We do.
Okay. So before we proceed, please note the following. The board president will enforce board policy 1313, which imposes rules of decorum and civility in the conduct of this meeting in this facility. Should any member of the audience act in a manner inconsistent with the requirements imposed by that policy, who interrupts a speaker at the podium, makes comments that are deemed derogatory of the speaker and his or her message, or which are threatening in nature, she shall be warned to stop such conduct and asked to leave the meeting if it occurs again, or will be removed by law enforcement pursuant to Board Bylaw 9323. Any speaker who has been subjected to such treatment may contact the office of the superintendent at 714-558-5512. And speakers will have up to 3 minutes based on the number of speakers this evening. And Ms. Quitos, you may begin.
We invite Fernando Gutierrez, followed by Saul Lara, and followed by Margarita Gonzalez.
It's going to be me and my daughter speaking. Can she use this one? Can I use the mic? Because we're going to go like back and forth. Yeah? Come on, Kelly.
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right, good. Ready.
Hello, my name is Angelina Kelly Gutierrez, and I am a 5th grader at Edison Elementary School.
Go Eagles. Hello, my name is Fernando Gutierrez, and I am her father. This is based on a true story.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mija, what's up?
I got a letter today that says I am going to CAR Intermediate next year.
Okay, go Astros.
But I want to go to Lathrop
Okay, go Spartans. ¿Pero por qué, mija?
because my close friends from Edison are going to Lathrop and they have a good math club I want to join.
Okay, the letter says I have to fill out a school of choice transfer request in January, and I will do it right when the window opens.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, you got it. I just sent it. It's January 9th.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, thank you, Dad.
A few weeks later,
Dad, we got an email that says I was waitlisted at Lathrop.
really? Does it say what number you are on the wait list?
No, they did not give me a waitlist number, but they did give us a number to call if we have questions.
Okay, let's call it and ask. What's the number they gave us?
The number is 714-433-4310.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Looks like it is disconnected. Pues ni modo, mija. I guess you can't go to Lathrop. Are there any other school? Are any of your other friends going to a different school?
Yes, they are going to a charter school. Charter school. Could I go there instead?
If that's what you want, then yes. Let's call tomorrow to see if the charter school has room for you. Hopefully their phone number works.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, mija. And scene. Now, this could have been the way this story ends, but for the fact that I know better. I know there's room at Lathrop for Callie because I worked there. When the phone number you emailed me was disconnected, I knew who to email, and fortunately for my family, I was able to email the right people to ultimately get her transferred to Lathrop. However, I'm not satisfied. I emailed each and every one of you here. I appreciate Mr. Bustos and Ms. Lepsak for responding and asking me if anyone from the district had reached out, and the answer was no. I also got an email from the superintendent's secretary, Ms. Rosales, letting me know that someone from the district would be reaching out to me, but no one ever did. Instead, I got a general email letting me know that Callie had been accepted to Lathrop. I'm not satisfied with this. I want to know what number Callie was on the wait list. I want to know how many people are on the wait list for Lathrop. I want to know what you cap Lathrop at for there to even be a wait list to begin with. Everyone keeps saying that there is no wait list at Lathrop, but that is a big lie. A handful of people saw the wait list and saw Callie's name on there when I was dealing with this fiasco. And now suddenly the wait list is hidden again. And no one can see it anymore. This feels really shady and not transparent at all. I need someone to answer my questions immediately. If anyone here can get to the bottom of this, it is you, Superintendent Dr. Perez. I look forward to a response from someone immediately. SAUSD
Thank
preaches.
you. Sorry.
SAUSD preaches
We just
being
have
a
a
school of
rule
choice
for everybody,
district.
but we do hear
SAUSD
your
is
concern.
opposite.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Sorry
you.
for going over. We waited 4 hours.
Yeah, no, thank you. And as you know, I was just texting our superintendent. Thank you for bringing your concerns forward. And thank you to our student as well. We're going to have staff connect. If we can have staff, Dr. Perez. Okay. I see Mr. Bustamante is available to connect with you because we definitely don't want to cut the conversation. So thank you for letting us know. Thank you.
Do we have Saul Lara?
We are atypical parents, pero también somos padres mentores, conexiones educativas, padres con poder, Together for Inclusion, Padres Unidos por el Autismo, Disability Rights California, Parents Helping Parents, The Autism Community in Action, Special Needs Advocacy and Coaching Solutions, entre muchos otros grupos de apoyo, de aprendizaje y recursos para padres y cuidadores de estudiantes con capacidades especiales. Buenas noches, representantes del board, estimada superintendente doctora Pérez, comunidad en general. Soy padre de 2 estudiantes de este distrito escolar. Cuando empecé a involucrarme en el mundo de la educación especial, una de mis primeras preguntas fue, ¿por qué existen tantos grupos de abogacía dedicados a la defensa de derechos de niños, adolescentes y adultos con discapacidad? La respuesta es incómoda pero real, porque el sistema no está funcionando como debería. Como padre de un estudiante con autismo, ADHD, no verbal, puedo decirles que la inclusión no es solo permitir que un estudiante esté presente en un salón. La verdadera inclusión es otra cosa. Hoy, nuestros hijos siguen enfrentando barreras, siguen recibiendo servicios tardíos o insuficientes, siguen estando en entornos que no están preparados para sus necesidades. Y eso no puede seguir siendo normalizado. La falta de capacitación, la falta de comunicación efectiva y la falta de respuesta a las preocupaciones de las familias no pueden seguir siendo parte del sistema. La inclusión real exige acción. Exige que el distrito garantice servicios adecuados y oportunos, capacite verdaderamente a su personal, escuche y responda a los padres y deje de reaccionar para empezar a prevenir. Dar los servicios apropiados en edad temprana no es negociable, es fundamental y no puede depender de cuánto insistan los padres o en cuántos correos electrónicos envíe o de cuántas reuniones tenga que pelear. El autismo no siempre se ve, pero se siente. Se siente en la frustración de no poder comunicarse, en la ansiedad de no ser comprendido, en el silencio de un niño que tiene tanto que decir, pero no encuentra cómo. Y también se siente en el amor de una familia que no se rinde. La concientización sobre el autismo no puede quedarse en un solo día, tiene que vivirse en cada aula, en cada decisión y en cada acción de este distrito. Hoy no estoy aquí solo como padre, estoy aquí como voz de muchos que a veces no pueden hablar, como representación de niños que aún no tienen cómo defenderse, como recordatorio de que detrás de cada decisión hay una vida. Nuestros hijos no son estadísticas, son números, no son un reporte nada más. Gracias.
We are atypical parents, but we also are padres mentores, conexiones educativas, padres con poder, Together for Inclusion, Padres Unidos por el Autismo, Disability Rights of California, Parents Helping Parents, the Autism Community in Action, Special Needs Advocacy, and Coaching Solutions, and among many other support, learning and resource groups for parents and caregivers of students with special needs. Good evening, board members, esteemed Superintendent Dr. Perez, and community members. I'm the parent of 2 students in this school district. When I first became involved in the world of special education, one of my first questions was, why are there so many advocacy groups dedicated to defending the rights of children, teenagers, and adults with disabilities? The answer is uncomfortable but real, because the system is not working the way it should. As a parent of a student with autism, ADHD, and nonverbal, I can say that inclusion is not just about allowing a student to be physically present in a classroom. True inclusion is something much deeper. Today, our children are still facing barriers. They are still receiving delayed or insufficient services. They are still placed in environments that are not prepared for their needs, and this can no longer be normalized. The lack of training, the lack of effective communication, and the lack of response to families' concerns cannot continue to be part of the system. True inclusion requires action. It requires that the district ensure appropriate and timely services, properly train its staff, listen to and respond to parents, and stop reacting and start preventing. Providing appropriate early intervention services is not negotiable. It is essential. And it should not depend on how much a parent insists, how many emails they send, or how many meetings they have to fight for. Autism is not always visible, but it is deeply felt. It is felt in the frustration of not being able to communicate, in the anxiety of not being understood, in the silence of a child who has so much to say but cannot find a way to express it. It is also felt in the love of a family that refuses to give up. Awareness about autism cannot be limited to just one day. It must be lived every day, in every classroom, in every decision, and in every action within the district. Today, I am not here only as a parent. I am here as the voice of many who cannot always speak for themselves, as the representation of children who do not have the ability to defend their own rights, as a reminder that behind every decision there is a life. Our children are not statistics. They are not report numbers.
Tengo 18 años viviendo con el autismo y desde esos 18 años he visto de todo, desde los lloridos constantes por la sobreestimulación de sonidos, la falta de contacto visual, ecolalia, cambios repentinos en la comida, comportamientos agresivos, escapismo, falta de habla, depresión, ansiedad y soledad. Como madre de 2 estudiantes neurodivergentes, hay miles de estudiantes como mis hijos que necesitan el apoyo de este distrito. Abril es el mes de la concienciación del autismo. Buenas noches a los miembros de la Junta Directiva. Hoy quiero hablarles sobre el trastorno del espectro autista. El autismo es una condición de neurodesarrollo que afecta la comunicación y la interacción social. Cada persona con autismo es única con sus propios desafíos y fortalezas, pero en general pueden tener dificultades de la capacidad para responder a las emociones, el lenguaje y la comprensión de las relaciones sociales. La identificación temprana es crucial, ya que permite acceder a intervenciones y apoyos que mejoran significativamente su desarrollo y su calidad de vida. Cuando los estudiantes con autismo no reciben adaptaciones, pueden enfrentar desafíos como ansiedad, estrés constante ante cambios inesperados o la sobrecarga sensorial. También pueden tener dificultades para seguir instrucciones, participar en actividades grupales o incluso para regular sus emociones, lo que puede llevar a que se interprete su comportamiento como desobediencia y reciban castigos o regaños que agraven su malestar que suele pasar en las escuelas de este distrito. La colaboración entre padres y maestros es fundamental. Se puede lograr manteniendo una comunicación abierta y regular, compartiendo información sobre lo que funciona mejor en casa y en la escuela, y estableciendo metas consistentes para el estudiante que se puedan trabajar tanto en el aula como en el hogar. En conclusión, el autismo es una condición del neurodesarrollo que presenta desafíos, pero con el apoyo adecuado, nuestros estudiantes pueden alcanzar su máximo potencial. Para los maestros es crucial brindar adaptaciones y estrategias para evitar la ansiedad, el estrés y malentendidos con su comportamiento. Además, la comunicación entre padres y maestros es fundamental para establecer metas comunes. Hace falta mucha información para entender este trastorno, empatía para ayudar a los estudiantes y a sus familias y personas valientes que defiendan y apoyen a las familias. ¿Cómo me hubiera gustado que todas las personas que estuvieron el día de hoy, si tuviéramos toda esa cantidad de personas que vinieron el día de hoy y pudieran ayudar a nuestros estudiantes, que son los que están aquí atrás, estaríamos cambiando cómo es que todos ellos están viviendo el día de hoy. Todos aquellos estudiantes que se han ido y no han tenido esa oportunidad. Gracias.
I've spent 18 years living with autism, and throughout those 18 years, I have witnessed it all, from constant crying due to overstimulation from sounds, to a lack of eye contact, echolalia, sudden changes in eating habits, aggressive behaviors, escapism, lack of speech, depression, anxiety, and loneliness. As the mother of 2 neurodivergent students, I know there are thousands of students just like my children who need the support of this district. April is Autism Awareness Month. Good evening, members of the Board of Directors. Today, I would like to speak to you about autism spectrum disorder. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects communication and social interaction. Every person with autism is unique, possessing their own distinct challenges and strengths. However, generally speaking, they may experience difficulties in their ability to respond to emotions, use language, and understand social relationships. Early identification is crucial, as it provides access to interventions and supports that significantly enhance their development and quality of life. When students with autism do not receive appropriate accommodations, they may face challenges such as constant anxiety and stress in the face of unexpected changes or sensory overload. They may also struggle to follow instructions, participate in group activities, or even regulate their emotions. This can lead to their behavior being misinterpreted as disobedience, resulting in punishments or reprimands that exacerbate their distress, a situation that unfortunately occurs in the schools within this district. Collaboration between parents and teachers is fundamental. This can be achieved by maintaining open and regular communication, sharing information regarding what works best both at home and at school, and establishing consistent goals for the students that can be reinforced both in the classroom and in the home environment. In conclusion, autism is a neurodevelopmental condition that presents challenges. However, with the proper support, our students can reach their full potential. For teachers, it is crucial to provide accommodations and strategies designed to prevent anxiety and stress and misunderstandings regarding students' behavior. Furthermore, communication between parents and teachers is essential for establishing shared goals, and a great deal of information is needed to understand this disorder, as well as empathy to help the students and their families, and brave people who defend and support families. And it would have been great for all the people who were here earlier to be recognized, would join to help our students who are here behind, and this would change their lives today. Thank you.
Next, we invite Tamiko Anderson, followed by Bishop Gail Oliver, and then followed by Claire.
Greetings, everyone. I am an American. I am a resident of Santa Ana, and I am a teacher. So I am here tonight asking SAUSD School District to treat all people in the community fairly. If you have the pride flag flown, it would be equal to allow other flags that represent other people's beliefs. SAUSD is growing its community schools program and receiving millions of dollars from the state. These schools must follow 4 rules called pillars. 1, helping students with their needs, working with families and the community, making decisions together, giving more learning time, and changes. If SAUSD takes this money, it must follow these rules. Families should not just watch. They should be true partners. Right now, Santa Ana USD, SAUSD, is not listening to the community. You are not respecting all cultures in your diverse district. Here are the concerns you are ignoring. We need traditional views on gender and sexuality based on morals and truth to be represented honestly, including on flags and posters. We need clear information about what is being taught, especially teachings against natural order, values, and moral truth. We need schools to teach learning based on facts and morals, not unscientifically illogical, confusing lies. We need unity among all people, not teaching lies of skin color. We do not need tampon dispensers in boys' restrooms. And most certain, we do not keep secrets from parents. This is illogical and untrustworthy. There are intelligent, reasonable, common sense. These are intelligent, reasonable, common sense requests. If ignored, SAUSD is not complying to receive the money as stated above. Thank you.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of excited and fired up tonight because we serve a good God, and I am Gail Oliver. I am a man of God, and I represent the kingdom of God. I am an ambassador of Christ, and I'm super glad and happy to be here once again because I'm reminded of the rainbow, and every time I see the rainbow, I'm reminded of how powerful our God is, because when the world was full of sin, God could not stand it, so he destroyed or flooded the earth, and he put a rainbow in the sky to remind him never to destroy the earth that way. And so tonight I want to once again say greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to give God all honor, glory, and praise for every father that's in here, every mother that's in here, and every child. Amen. And so we must get back to basic fundamentals if we really want to be great in Santa Ana. We want to be the great leaders here in Santa Ana. We want to be a great community. We got to get back to the truth, because it is the truth that sets us free. And if you love the children, tell the children the truth, raise them up and train them up in the way they should go, and that way they can become good and beautiful human beings, citizens. And we need to teach our children what's good, what's beautiful, and what's true. Not mess. Mess just simply means men embracing Satan's strategy. So we have to get back to what God has told us to do and train up our children in the way they should go. If you love somebody, tell them the truth. If you love your children, tell them the truth. If you love this community, tell the community the truth. It is the truth that sets us free. And I want this. And I thank God real quick. I thank God for the Orange County Board of Education, because I've been a part of it, attending those meetings for years. And glory be to God, because now it's 6-0, 6-0. Superintendent lining up with the Word of God. 5 board members lining up with the Word of God. Because when you want to do right, you want the truth, you ask for the truth, God will show up. And we need to start understanding this life is temporary. And we need to make sure we're raising our children. I'm tired of children committing suicide because of the confusion and the lies that the devil's telling them. And we need some true parents, true board members, true leaders in Santa Ana, true citizens in the community. United States needs to get back to the biblical principles, because the United States was built on biblical principles. That flag there, I pledge allegiance to the united flag of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's get back to the basics.
Claire?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Claire. I am immigrant from China, and I came to United States for freedom. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and the ability to live without government control over what people believe. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the direction SAUSD is taking with ethnic studies being a required one-year class for graduation. When I received the materials connected to what is called limited ethnic studies, I was alarmed. The language and ideas felt very familiar to me. They reminded me of what I was taught growing up under the Chinese Communist Party. As a child, I was taught to see the world in terms of the oppressor and the oppressed. Society was described as a consistent struggle between groups. Education was not about learning how to think. It was about being told what to think. This is why this concerns me. Ethnic studies can be valuable when it teaches culture, history, and respect. But when it starts dividing students into fixed categories, labeling them as oppressors or victims based on identity, it crosses a line. It removes individuality. It reduces personal responsibility, and it encourages students to see each other as members of groups instead of as human beings. I have been where this kind of thinking leads. In community system, these ideas did not create fairness. They create division, fear, and distrust. People learned repeat the correct ideas instead of thinking independently. Over time, truth become less important than ideology. This is not what education in America should be. Our schools should unite students, not divide them. We should teach history honestly, but without promoting a political ideology. And we should always encourage critical thinking, not force agreement. I came to this country because it values freedom. Please make sure our classroom continue to reflect those values. And during the time I sit there, I just Google it, and just so curious for the academic of SAUSD. It's the public information. And you can see the Santa Ana. It's on 55% of English learning passed. And for the 84%, math passed. So everyone sit here, you guys just teach kids ABC and 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Next, we invite Danny Morrison, followed by Guy Morrison. And then our last two speakers would be Stephanie Camacho Van Dyke and Samuel.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm married and have lived in Santa Ana for over 42 years. I'm a retired registered nurse. All our children were raised in Santa Ana. In 2013, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, requiring many surgeries. Doctors call me Sherm. I am grateful to be alive. Some people, both adults and children in the community, are compassionate, while others see my deformed face, laugh, stare, and become fearful. Some are patient to listen carefully as I try to speak. I cannot smell, taste, hear, but I can love. Last year I had several experiences of harsh teasing and bullying by Santa Ana and Irvine students as they exited school. It was not pretty. After that, I went to local high schools with the hope of speaking to students about bullying. If they laugh at me, then they would probably laugh at others who are unique and special too. I want to create understanding with kindness towards special needs students. I know there are many dealing with physical, mental, and intellectual differences resulting in bullying. Saddleback High School recently allowed me to address some of the Christian Club students about bullying. I look forward to more opportunities. I believe my testimony can make a difference. After I shared with one young girl, she wept as I held her in my arms. And another student whose gender was unidentifiable to me rested tenderly in my arms for an extended embrace. I am a Christian, and it is my faith alone in Jesus Christ that saves and sustains me in the most difficult times in my life. Therefore, I feel compelled to use my deformed facial platform to love and to reach the most vulnerable and perceived often as untouchables. I cannot and I will not ignore the blatant fact that bullying may result in suicide. Thank you, and God bless you.
Ready? Okay. My name is Guy Morrison. I've lived in Santa Ana for over 48 years, and I'm a retired physical therapist and chiropractor. I understand that our school district flies a rainbow flag to show respect for diversity and inclusion. I believe this flag represents ideas about gender and sexuality. It shows that people can actually choose their gender and that many sexual identities should be normalized in our school institution or instruction, such as pansexuality, etc. My anatomy and physiology courses in both physical therapy and chiropractic schools strongly disagree with the idea that there are more genders than male and female. This lie goes against absolute truth biblically, anatomically, and physiologically. It denies the reality of common sense. I certainly don't want to be so open-minded that my brains fall out. I refuse to deny common sense that should be common to all, unless we have been bullied, intimidated, or bamboozled into suppressing the truth. As I address the education system, it's important to know the difference between respect and accept. I can and must respect a title or position someone holds because this represents authority, but no one must be forced or coerced to accept the belief that someone else has, especially when it may be physically or emotionally harmful to another and or go against one's religious convictions. If our schools are going to support these multiple gender beliefs and expansive open-ended sexualities, then they should also respect other beliefs as well. Many families in our community believe that God created us male and female, as I do. They also believe that marriage is between a man and a woman, of which I concur. If the district flies a rainbow flag, then it should also fly a Protestant, Catholic, and other flags as well for total inclusivity. This would show true inclusion and respect for everyone. Some people may say there should be separation between church and state, but when schools promote ideas that go against the beliefs of many Orthodox Christian and Catholic families, those students may become victims of harassment. They should not feel ashamed of what they truly believe. So I humbly ask the Santa Ana Unified School District to also fly the Christian, Catholic, and other flags as requested if we are to be truly inclusive. A quote by Booker T. Washington: "A lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority, or a minority in this case." A quote by Dwight Longnecker regarding our culture of today: "First we overlook evil, then we permit evil, then we legalize evil, then we promote evil, then we celebrate evil, then we persecute those who still call it evil, then we call those evil who refuse to call evil good." It's gone on far too long. It needs to stop. Thank you.
Stephanie Camacho.
Good evening, Board. I'd like to yield my time to my colleagues.
So I just want to remind everyone that here in this country we have separation of church and state, but because of all the comments that I've heard being said here, I just want to say that I am in fact Ministries Board Chair of my church, also the immediate past president of the Newport Mesa Irvine Interfaith Council. In my church, we have many LGBTQ members. We welcome them as part of our church family. We are all church family, and I wanted to remind everyone that it's not only United Church of Christ, which is a mainline denomination, which is what I belong to. Other mainline denominations like the Unitarian Universalists, the Methodist, Disciples of Christ, many Presbyterian and even Catholic congregations, a number of Jewish synagogues, and many other faith congregations believe in everyone should be accepted the way they are. And I just wanted to let you all know that one rule that all religions, no matter where they are, have is the golden rule in many different languages and scripts. do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I think that would be a very important thing for all of us to remember here.
Patricia Vázquez, para ustedes, todos ustedes. Aquí no estoy hablando como representante de nadie, solamente estoy hablando como mamá de un miembro de la comunidad LGBTQ, orgullosamente, y tengo que darle muchísimas gracias a los maestros y a los consejeros que ayudaron a mi hijo a hacer lo que ahora es, que es un antropólogo casado, 10 años, y su esposo también es un antropólogo. Tiene su propio negocio, y si no hubiera sido por ese apoyo de la comunidad, de los maestros, de los consejeros, mis hijos no hubieran estado donde están ahora. Entonces no quiero pensar que en lugar de ir para adelante y educarnos, vayamos para atrás. Solamente tenemos que venir a predicar lo que Dios nos está diciendo, que es inclusión, amor y unidad. Eso es lo que nos está enseñando Dios. No, nunca nos ha dicho vamos a dividirnos y vamos a pelearnos unos contra otros. Creo que la civilización es cuando comenzamos a preocuparnos por el que sigue, no por estar viendo nuestro propio pensamiento, nuestro propio felicidad. Así es que creo que tenemos que incluirnos todos, ser una sola unión, y si ellos, nuestros estudiantes, quieren hacer también su bandera, vamos a estar ahí para apoyarnos. Así es que cuenten conmigo porque yo voy a estar ahí para izar esa bandera en representación de todos los estudiantes que muchas veces son ignorados, vejados y teniendo bullying. Gracias.
Samuel?
My name is Patricia Vázquez, and I'm not here representing anyone, but I'm a mother of an LGBTQ student, and I want to thank the teachers and the counselors for supporting my son. Thanks to that support, he's graduated. He's an anthropologist. His husband is also an anthropologist. He owns his own business, and we need to support all of our students, and we don't need to be looking back. We need to look forward, and if we need to preach, we need to preach what God said. We need to preach inclusion, love, and supporting each other, and unity. And God does not want us to be divided or fight amongst ourselves. He wants, we need to be civil, we need to be concerned for others, not just our own thoughts and our own happiness. We need to include everyone. And if the students want to have their own flag, I'm going to be there to support them and to raise that flag. And we need to support our students.
Good evening. I'm here today to respond to comments made by Brenda Lebsack at the special board meeting on April 14th. What we heard was framed as concern for parental rights and transparency, but in reality, it echoes a familiar set of national talking points that have been used across this country to undermine public education and target local school boards. Because what this board is doing is not deception, as Brenda claims. It's about doing exactly what it's supposed to do, to protect students, to follow the law, and create a safe learning environment for every child. That is not an agenda. That's the long-standing responsibility of the board. And we hear claims that the law is rapidly changing. It's important to be clear. The medical profession still recognizes that conversion therapy is harmful, and the unresolved legal challenges do not change this board's responsibility to protect students. We also heard the claim that the board is out of step with faith-based community values. But even within Christianity, there's no single unified faith, and many faith communities right here in Santa Ana affirm the dignity of transgender students. So when we hear references to faith-based values, we have to ask, which faith community is being represented? And if we're going to bring faith into this discussion, then we should do it honestly, because Jesus did not spend his time condemning the vulnerable. Perhaps inspired by that teaching, Pope Leo recently said, "Woe to those who manipulate religion. and the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. So if we are going to invite faith into this room, we need to ask, are we going to use it to uplift people or to divide them? Are we going to protect the vulnerable or target them? Because what we are hearing from Brenda is not a defense of faith. It is the use of faith as a political tool to suggest wrongdoing where none exists and to delegitimize the work of this board. At the end of the day, this board is doing the right thing, and it's upholding the principle that every child deserves dignity and safety in our schools. That is not an agenda. That is leadership for this school district, for California, and for this nation. Thank you.
This concludes public presentations.
Thank you. I want to thank our public speakers for taking the time to come out and share with us and represent the values of our community. So thank you, and we hear you. We will now move to our consent calendar. As we move into consent calendar, board members will have up to 2 minutes each, and we'll try to keep it to no more than 2 rounds to discuss items pulled from the consent calendar. This will help us just stay on time for the meeting this evening. And with that, do any of my fellow board members wish to remove any items from consent calendar? Items 10.1 through 10.16 and construction and bond-related items 11.1 through 11.5. You can go ahead and put yourself on the speakers list if you do. I see Ms. Lipsack.
Yeah, I'd like to pull 10.2, 10.3, 10.8, and 10.10.
Okay, anyone else wishing to pull any consent items? No? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion and a second to approve the remainder of the consent calendar and consent calendar construction and bond-related items.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and prepare to vote, and we'll start with our student board members. Okay, with a 2 yes vote, we'll now move to the remainder of the board. Okay, with a 4 yes vote with Dr. Alvarez absent, motion carries. Okay, now let's go to the items pulled from the consent calendar for discussion and separate action. We have 10.2, Ms. Quiroz.
Approval of extended field trips in accordance with board policy 6153, school-sponsored trips, administrative regulation 6153, school-sponsored trips, administrative regulation 6153.1, extended school-sponsored trip, and board policy 5145.31, transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming students.
Thank you, Ms. Quiroz. Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Go ahead and add yourself to the speakers list. Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, I was asking Dr. Perez for how much our overnighters cost, giving an annual, maybe an average for students, staff, and board members. Since we're looking at budgets and we do cover these costs, I'd like to know the price of how much that is. Do we have that tonight?
I'm checking with staff. I see that we do not have that tonight. Do we have a time frame? Okay. I'm hearing the team say that we will have it this week. And I did share with you that the original request was for the 5 years. Yeah. And so that was taking quite a bit of time. And you did amend your request to narrow it to a more narrow scope. So we appreciate that, and the team is working on that.
Okay, I appreciate that. And just to clarify, as before, I will vote no on overnighters as of now because of our board policy that I believe puts female students in harm's way by allowing biological males to room with girls without parents' knowledge, if that could happen or not. So, because I think this board policy is not in the best interest of students or families, I will vote no.
And Mr. Abascal?
Yeah, so about the pricing thing, there should be an attachment on the board docs. It shows like the cost breaking down and like how it's being paid for. So for like the 3 field trips that are listed on the item, for the Saddleback High School football camp, it says it's $220 per student and the cost is paid by football scholarships. For the speech and debate, National Speech and Debate Tournament, it's $3,645 per student, which is paid by the speech and debate program, which is us probably. And then for the Century High School Arroyo Grande Passing and Lineman Tournament, it's $65 per student, and that's paid by the Football Booster Club.
Thank you, Mr. Abascal, but my question and my request was an annual average for all students, for all staff, and for all board members. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and I apologize to our student board members because they had flagged that, and I was thinking the same thing. So I suggested they get on the speakers list to share. So for the item tonight, it's for these 3, right? Okay. Okay, and then Ms. Gomez, did you want to share?
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, so it was basically regarding the students and transgender and non-binary and gender non-conforming students. Per state law, are they allowed to stay in the same room? Like, is that depend on local laws? Does that depend on California laws? Like, how does that work?
Superintendent, can you have the team?
Yeah, is it, okay, thank you.
Good evening. Can you repeat the question just so I make sure I answer it correctly?
So for the students staying with transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming students, are they allowed to by state law, local law, or like district policy? Like, how does that work?
Students are allowed to room based on their own gender assignment. So if a student identifies as a male, they would be allowed to room with male students.
Okay.
And that's state law.
So the fact that parents are getting, so what I'm hearing is parents aren't getting informed about this, right?
Yeah, based on confidentiality.
Confidentiality.
Laws, we are not allowed to disclose the gender identity of a student.
Oh, okay. So in that case, parent permission slips wouldn't work because of the confidentiality, right? That was my only question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted clarification.
Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, Dr. Alvarado, you might want to go back. And I appreciate that question, Ms. Gomez, because you did ask, is that according to state law? Yes, it's according to AB 1266. But we do have federal law and we have state law. So federal law defines Title IX as we define male and female according to sex, where state law is defining it according to gender identity. So there is a contrast in that, and typically, when you compare federal and state, federal, forgive me for the pun, but it trumps state law. In case you have anything to add to that, but I wanted to explain that to her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Alvarado. Okay. So let's go ahead and vote on this item. We'll go ahead and start with our student board members. The 2 yes vote. We'll move to the remainder of the board. Okay, with a 3 yes vote, no vote from Ms. Lebsack, and with Dr. Alvarez not present, motion carries. We'll now move to 10.3, Ms. Quiros.
Acceptance of City of Santa Ana Bridging the Graffiti Arts Program Grant.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion and a second?
Go ahead. Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, thank you. And we can open it up for discussion. Please put yourself on the speakers list. Okay, Ms. Lebsack.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea that we have graffiti art. I appreciate graffiti art. I love murals. I was just asking Dr. Perez if maybe in the B2B, if we could see some, I guess we've been doing this program for how many years?
I believe this is the third year.
Okay.
Might be the second. I'm seeing
Oh,
second.
only
Thank you,
second year,
Sophia.
okay. So it'd be really great to be able to see the results of what our kids have produced. I don't know if they're actually out there in the community or if they're on our student walls. I'm not sure, but I'd love to see the results of those. I also want to ask that we're careful because I know I was at Main Place Mall and I went into one of the art exhibits and there was a lot of things, I guess, from Valley High School that was Free Palestine, about Gaza and things like that. And at that time, we were, I hadn't been on the board yet, but we were in the middle of the lawsuit with our ethnic studies and with the Jewish foundations. And so I did bring that up to the board, saying that I'm not sure that's appropriate to be putting that out in public when we're in the middle of a lawsuit. Okay, so just wanted to bring that up.
Ms. Magdaleno?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, my first request, can we turn off the AC? Please, I'm kind of getting sick, so if anyone can help me out with that. But second, I'm really proud of this partnership. I heard that it went really well last year, and I'm so excited that the city has approved another $100,000 in order for our students to continue working with, I believe, Alex Cisneros, right, is the one that, oh, Sanchez, thank you. The one that's helping us out with this program. And I know our students have enjoyed it. I saw the last mural that they did, I think at the garage. Yeah, it's at the top of a garage building, a parking garage building, and it looks amazing. So just thank you to the city for the partnership. Thank you to our team. And I'm looking forward to seeing maybe a little bit about what Ms. Lepsak said, like a library book of documenting all the murals, the student name, how they work on it, how they design the art, all of that good stuff. And so we can see it. Thank you so much. And I'm looking at our arts team.
Thank you. Actually, the requests from both Ms. Magdaleno and Ms. Lepsak were shared with the team, and I know that they have worked on something that will be shared with our board this B2B.
Okay, and just briefly, I'll also share, I'm excited about this partnership. I've had the opportunity to see Mr. Alex Sanchez, or his, as he goes as artist, Sincero. And I've come to learn that he is world-renowned and known throughout the world and has traveled all over. And so, our students, again, I'm excited that they're getting the very best in our arts and in our programming. So thank you to the team for putting this together. And with that, we can go ahead and vote. We'll start with our student board members. Okay, with a 2 yes vote for our students. Student board members will move to the rest of the board. Okay, with a 4 yes vote with Dr. Alvarez absent, motion carries. We can move to 10.8, Ms. Quiros.
Approval of listing of agreements, contracts with Santa Ana Unified School District for the 2026-2027 school year.
Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we can open up for discussion on the speakers list. Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, this item is about $200,000 contractor to help provide mental health services for our staff. And I know that Dr. Perez has good intentions to help staff, especially possibly in the middle of crisis, to have an outside agency come and provide those services rather than our own counselors to provide objectivity. I guess my question is, we do have state services such as CalHope that actually offers that for free. And so I was wondering, why do we need this extra $200,000 service? We also have, our staff have insurance and they're well covered when it comes to having those kind of services provided. I know as a teacher myself, I wouldn't really want to, if I know a lot of things too deal with internal affairs, stress with relations or work related, and sometimes you want to just go to your own provider, or if not to your union, to your association that you affiliate with, that you feel safest with. So
I appreciate the question. So yes, our employees typically do have, through their insurance, some sort of care that they can seek. This particular service, and I want folks to understand why this was actually so important to me, and I had been working on this with our team for the past at least 3 years, actually, and in partnership with our association. So CSEA and SAEA in particular had come alongside me with this request for quite some time, and I want to give context as to why. When we have an emergency, we have a crisis. Oftentimes, if a person is in the adult is experiencing some distress, it's not like you're going to get to go through your insurance and see someone immediately that day. Let's say that a staff member on your team passes away abruptly. Like they were with you Tuesday and Wednesday. You show up to work and they're not there. What this service provides is actually an immediate response to the staff. What we were doing in the past was having our counseling team working with their colleagues essentially, which is a liability. I did not feel comfortable with that, and I put myself in that place. That would be very hard to disclose certain things to your colleagues, and then you go in a week later and you're doing a training sitting alongside that person, and you in the moment of your despair shared lots of things, and what a death of your colleague could have surfaced for you, something traumatic in your family situation, lots of things, right? And so I think there needed to be a very clear delineation between our staff, and that's actually not what our counselors and mental health folks sign up for, to serve their colleagues. That is not, should not be part of their job. It's not actually, I don't think, in their job description. But there's a liability in having people interact with one another in that way. Someone could disclose something to a colleague, and yes, we expect people to operate with professionalism, but things could happen. And so I would prefer to not put us in that situation, and really do believe that offering this support and service, we offer it to our students. If a staff member passes away, someone that might have been their teacher, students can access immediately supports, but the adults in the system cannot. We've had to go out and ask the county office, actually Supervisor Sarmiento's office, in the past to help us gain access to those supports, other agencies around the county to help us gain access to those supports. And I do believe we should be doing that for our staff members, for our certificate and classified folks within our system.
Okay, so this is something that was requested and agreed upon with our union members as well?
Our union
And
leadership was very well aware, and we had been working on this for quite some time. We were not successful in the first couple of rounds because folks were saying, oh, well, people can access this through their insurance, but your insurance does not come out immediately. Like, you don't get to see your insurance immediately and process as a staff. There's multiple people on a campus when something, a crisis happens. Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. And I'll also share that to the superintendent's perspective and point, we've talked about this over the last few years. There have been times where I've seen this happen, and where our staff have shared that, moving forward in the future, there was a need that they were the providers, they're the mental health providers, but they also needed to speak to somebody in the time of a tragedy. And so, they often are taking on the weight of the incident, and they need support as well. So with that, we can go ahead and vote. We'll start with our student board members. Okay, with a 2 yes vote, we'll move to the remainder of the board. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, with Dr. Alvarez absent, motion carries. We can move to, and just for clarity, that was 10.8, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on the screen, folks, I'm not sure what folks at home were seeing, but that was 10.8. 10.7 was displayed for part of the conversation. And next we have 10.10.
10.10, approval ratification of listing of grant award applications with Santa Ana Unified School District for the 2025 to 2026 school year.
Can I get a motion and a second? I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion? Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, I'd like to pull number 4 and 5. It's the CDE, California Department of Ed, grant for community schools and also for extended learning. Can I make a motion to pull 4 and 5 and to vote on that separately? Anybody? I make a motion to separate those out so we can vote on that separately, 4 and 5.
Is there a second?
Okay, no second. Okay, discussion. All right. So for 10.10 on number 4, it says that the CDE wants to give us $4.9 million before and after school programs and supplemental programs. My question is, do expanded learning employees of secondary students have to do the 5-year PRISM training required by the state according to AB 5?
No, they do not.
Okay, thank you. All right, then the next one was 10.10, number 5, that 5.7 million in order to expand the community school model for 4 more elementary schools using the 4 pillars of community schools. The 4 pillars are integrated student supports, family and community engagement, collaborative leadership and practices, and extended learning time and opportunities. I know there was a public speaker tonight, Tamiko Anderson, a retired teacher in Santa Ana, and I would agree with her that 2 of these pillars of our community schools are not being met. Number 2 is family and community engagement. I know we have family and community engagement. And number 3 is collaborative leadership and practices. But with family and community engagement, I know I just attended the counselor training today for elementary counselors, and I think it's important that I want to.
We can start the time again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to.
Okay, thank you.
That when I attended, the counselors were told that they can hide a child's gender identity, chosen name, and pronouns from parents if requested by a child of any age, and they are only obligated to share this information with parents if asked. And my question is, what parent would even think to ask this, especially if they don't know that this is how the district is working and that these are our practices and policies. I have not yet seen us being disclosed to our community about this, and I think it needs to be disclosed fully.
Ms. Lebsack, sorry, I apologize to interrupt, but I'm just having trouble understanding what that has to do, how it ties directly to this item on California Community Schools Framework. You talked about a counselor's meeting?
Correct, because I'm saying that the second, it says in that we have to follow the 4 pillars given by the CDE. One of those 4 pillars is allowing to communicate with parents so they can be partners in their kids' education. And the only way you can do that is to be fully honest and to give them the information needed so they can make decisions with you. Okay, if you're gonna have people make decisions, how can they know what they don't know? How can they give input on things that they don't know anything about? Because we haven't told them. We need to tell them. It's part of the Ed Code 51101. We need to inform parents about these policies. They send their kids off to field trips. They don't know our policy that they could end up spending the night in a hotel room with a biological boy who is identified as a girl. They don't even know that that could happen. Are we telling them before they go on the field trips? I don't think so. Also, about teachers are supposed to be part of that process as well. And I know I'm running out of time, but I'm hearing from a lot of primary teachers that they're not being consulted or heard in IEP meetings if they don't think that SDC preschool children should be in gen ed settings. They feel like these young children are being thrown in the deep end, quote unquote, being expected to swim in a more advanced environment than they're ready for.
Thank you.
Teachers aren't being listened to.
Ms. Lebsack, we were generous with the time. It was a reach for the item, so thank you. And we have Ms. Magdaleno.
Yes, I see Ms. Torres already standing up. I do have a couple questions. So this is a community schools grant. So I just wanted to double check and ask, did we apply for this? How did we receive this grant, and what are we going to use it for? Which schools specifically receive the funds for that?
So the item in question is
It's merely an extension of grant award that we've already received. And so whereas the funds were set to expire, the state has actually extended them through 2028. So that's what this award notification is informing us of.
And is this the 2-year extension that I heard about, or for a specific school, cohort 1,
So
2?
cohort 1 includes 4 sites, the original 4, and that's what this particular notice is for.
Got it. Thank you for the clarification.
And I'm happy to give those names, the school names to you if you, yes? Pio Pico, Garfield, Monte Vista, Washington.
Thank you to the crowd.
Yes, thank you
Thank
for
you.
phoning a friend. Yes, thank you.
Mr. Bustos?
Thank you. And thank you for clarifying that this is an extension, right?
Correct.
So if the state reviewed our practices and was looking at these 4 pillars, and they believed that we weren't following one out of the 4 pillars, would we be getting an extension? Would we be getting more money if they believed that we weren't actually doing right by the money, by the grant money that the state was giving the district?
So there are checkpoints throughout the life of our grants, and those come through annual progress reviews, implementation plans that we submit. And so those serve as safety nets and checks for ensuring that our systems, our processes are in alignment to what the grant calls for. This in particular, because we did get a later start with cohort 1, the funds which were set to expire just needed to be extended, and that was granted to us. But there are checkpoints throughout the life of the grant, yes.
Great, thank you. With that, I'll call the question.
Mr. Bustos, I would like to make one comment myself on, so I haven't had a chance. So before we call the question, just really quickly, I wanted to highlight item 3 with the Orange County Community Foundation. I actually just was in a space with them this morning at the City by City Navigating Challenges Facing Our Immigrant Communities. They invited me to speak on the panel to represent the immigrant support plan that our staff have been working so hard on, and to share about our district. And so it was an honor to be able to do that. But I had the chance to talk with some of the staff from the Orange County Community Foundation and just thank them for support and tell them that I see them on our agendas. And so here they are tonight supporting Edison Elementary, and also congratulations to Edison for their work. I know they focus a lot on environmental science, and this grant is going to help continue that work. So thank you to the staff. I see proposed by Laura Garcia for putting this together and bringing in those funds to our district. And with that, we can go ahead and call the question. Let's go ahead and vote, starting with our student board members. Okay, with the 2 yes vote, we'll now move to the remainder of the board. Okay, with the 3 yes vote, with Ms. Lebsack voting no and Dr. Alvarez absent, motion carries. Okay. Okay, we'll now move to our information item. This item is being presented for information only. No action is required. Ms. Quiros, could you please read item 12.1?
12.1, Williams Settlement Legislation, Third Quarter Report of Uniform Complaints, 2025 to 2026 fiscal year.
Thank you, Ms. Quiros. And now we will move on to tonight's presentation. And Dr. Perez, will you get us started?
Sure, thank you. I'm very excited to share or have the team share the plans for summer programs this year. So I would like to invite Ms. Lupita Cruz to be accompanied by actually a very robust team we're excited to have before you guys tonight. So Ms. Cruz, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Perez. Good evening, President Brazier Aceves, Superintendent Dr. Perez, board members, and the community.
You'll see behind me is a pretty large team, and I'll explain that in a moment. So I'm excited to announce that, and the privilege and honor to really be able to present SAUSD's 2026 My Summer, My Future in its second year. And the one thing that I want to highlight is that these programs are designed very intentionally by this large team. And the one thing that really stands out is that we're not just looking at solely academics, but we're building confidence in students, also exploring their interests and strengthening their skill sets. Aligned to our district learner outcomes, as well as our SAUSD graduate profile, this work reflects our commitment to ensuring that every student feels engaged, empowered, and prepared for what's coming next after SAUSD. And tonight, we are excited to share the summer opportunities we have in store for all of our students here this year. Our 2026 summer programs are designed to reflect our district board priorities, which you can see on the screen, and LCAP goals through a truly student-centered approach and ecosystem of support for all of our kids. And by investing in academic enrichment, in family and community engagement, as well as our strong system of care for students, we are creating summer experiences that help students feel supported, connected, and safe in our schools. And then ultimately, this work is about ensuring that every child has what it needs to thrive, but not just now, but within the future when they move on from SAUSD. So last summer, next slide. Sorry, I don't think I have the clicker. I think I have the power. There we go. So last summer, we embraced a unified, integrated approach. And as you can see, the team has gotten quite larger behind me. And I'm extremely proud of that because instead of running separate initiatives independently, we are really working together as an organized system of support for students. And you'll see that I have several people that are running this initiative and this work that's really aligning to all programs that are highlighted with maintenance and operation, career technical education, support services, nutrition services, and this strategy has really allowed us to not be isolated anymore. This strategy has allowed us to address gaps within the system, has allowed us to really be strategic about operational efficiency and how we move the work forward. This summer, we are using data with purpose. It's not just about numbers, but we understand that it's about how we are really supporting our students with the experience and programs. And we're looking at participation, engagement, outcomes across several different programs to see what is working, where students may need support, and how we continue with their thrived experience within our summer programs. Across all summer programs, we are following a shared approach to how we're setting goals, how we're tracking progress, and learning from the data. And this helps us ensure that every program is working towards the same vision, the same alignment of a shared commitment to ensuring that we provide meaningful and inclusive opportunities for our students here in SAUSD. We want to be transparent and we want to be thoughtful about the summer work that we're leading. And we use data to help us make informed decisions around our work. We're going to be communicating impact very clearly about the successes and outcomes we have for this summer and stay accountable for our students and our families who deserve to hear all of the great things and the works that we're doing. At the heart of it all, our commitment is to continuously grow and improve what we have and making sure that we have that opportunity for every student to thrive in summer programs. Our summer programs are designed, like I said before, with heart and ensuring that every student has access to meaningful enrichment programs with a variety of options, not just one. Across our district, we are offering a wide range of student learning, academics, enrichment, wellness, as well as specialized services for all of our students. And from expanded learning to high school learning, which you'll see behind me, migrant education, newcomer academy, the arts, speech and debate, summer bridge, career technical education, and extended school year, each program plays a vital part to providing the supports and the unique supports of students. And together, these opportunities reflect our commitment to creating a summer experience where students feel supported, inspired, and connected. As we move through this presentation, we are going to highlight each program in more detail and share how those efforts are helping students build confidence, discover their interest, and continue their learning journey in ways that are engaging, meaningful, and inclusive on campuses. From June 2nd through July 16th, our summer program will operate for 9 hours at most of our TK through 12 sites, giving students more time to learn, to connect, to grow in a summer environment. By offering 3 flexible options you can see on the screen, we can create spaces for students that are flexible and adaptable, but ensuring that all of these options still have the same supports, whether you attend morning, afternoon, or full day. Even students that are attending some of our half days, we make sure that it's intentional, that it's specially designed so that they don't lose out on any opportunities that may be happening in our full day program. And at the center of this work, our commitment is children, our students here in SAUSD. We want every student to be seen, inspired, and heard throughout the summer. We want their voices to be heard while sharing in the work that we're doing here with our summer programs. And we want to make sure that families have flexible opportunities so there's no barriers that are created with allowing students to participate. Our first enrollment happened, and I am proud to say we're going to be servicing about 5,001 students from TK through 12th. I do know that there is an updated number, that 5,001. It's not that number in particular. And we made an adjustment just because we noticed that there were some numbers that weren't necessarily captured. And I'm proud to say that we're going to be servicing 416 more students than we did last year. And we have all staff in place ready for them, which is a huge accomplishment. And a second waitlist window will occur, and it occurred on Monday, and it'll take place all the way till Friday. So when we think about student success, we know it is much more than just academics. It is about nurturing, as you can see, a variety of things and interests, but also the whole child. Our summer expanded learning programs are built with that in mind. They're creating spaces to build skills, discover new interests, and then whether they receive literacy or exploring future careers, they are also making sure that we give them an experience that's designed with purpose for every individual child. These opportunities help students grow not only academically, like I stated before, but also their confidence, their creativity, and leadership and collaboration are essential and key to ensuring that we support that and we drive that. Whether a child is with us, like I said, our heart is to ensuring that students get a great, amazing summer experience where they can feel happy and successful and connected with people on campus. Our TK8 STEAM enrichment program options you can see on the screen. They're divided into 3 different grade levels. They are hands-on, they are grade level appropriate. They are not just about learning science, but it's various things besides that in terms of exploring, building, questioning, and discovering different skills in these 3 different areas. What makes this work really powerful is we're trying to make sure that what we bring in is age appropriate, but also we get feedback from students on that. Our youngest learners will engage in exploration through Nature Watch, as you can see on the screen, where environmental science comes to life in authentic and age-appropriate activities that are hands-on and engaging. And students in grades 3rd through 5th will also take place in a building and design model, as well as an experiment through straw beans, which are designing several different things with hands-on construction. And then for our middle school students, our intermediate students, PCS and Ed Ventures provide STEAM-focused activities that promote a lot of the critical thinking and active engagement. So we heard a lot of voices last year. They didn't necessarily like the curriculum. We made some improvements. We made sure to get feedback, and we're addressing those concerns. And at the heart of the work, I'm going to say it one more time, sorry, I speak a little loud, my apologies. At the heart of the work is our commitment to giving students opportunities to learn by doing, not just saying to them. And these experiences help students, like I said, I'm going to continue reiterating it, build confidence and strength and collaboration, not only with peers, but within themselves. This is the kind of summer learning that keeps students engaged, that keeps students inspired and excited about coming to a program that they are going to enjoy and really want to be a part of. So literacy. Literacy is one of our academic priorities, and this summer we are continuing that commitment by making sure that reading is the central part of our students' experiences in the summer program. Through our literacy campaign led by all of our amazing library and media techs, students will engage in story time, in crafts and reading challenges, bookmobile visits, and incentives that make reading both meaningful and fun for all of the kids. This is more than just academic growth. It is about helping students, again, build confidence, see themselves as readers, and take that love of reading home with them through grade level take-home books. So it just doesn't stop on our campuses, it continues at home, and engaging literacy experiences throughout the entire summer. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Lindsay Barfield, who is gonna go, she's a program specialist of the arts, who will go over a couple more details.
Good evening. This summer, in partnership with Expanded Learning, our site and our site educators, we will be designing, or we have designed, arts programs as both student-centered and system building. At the middle school and high school level, we have a performing arts camp that will allow students to have choice and voice in what they're learning and what they're doing by having the first week where they will experience all the different disciplines such as mariachi, theater, dance, band, etc. And then in weeks 2 and 3, they will then go and plan for which of those disciplines they want to continue with and dive deeper into, and culminating in a performance the final week. At Henniger, we are piloting a workshop-style musical theater program where it's going to be a more sustainable type program. They're learning the foundations, and foundations in acting, music, and movement, and it will apply them in a culminating showcase at the end. It's intended to be cost-effective, accessible, and replicable across more sites. At Santiago, we'll be supporting a full production while leveraging the site as a learning lab for educators. We have an expanding musical theater programs going on throughout the district, and there's a need for professional development for our teachers. So at Santiago, teachers and instructional providers will observe and learn alongside the program, building their own capacity to develop and expand musical theater opportunities at their own schools. Together, these programs align with our all means all approach, expanding access, building pathways for both elementary through high school, and ensuring that more students access the district, across the district, can engage in high quality arts experiences. Beyond the performance, students are developing literacy, language, collaboration, and confidence, critical skills that support academic success for all learners in all subjects. Now I'd like to turn it over to Adam Knutson, Coordinator of Student Achievement.
Good evening. As a part of our teacher-led instruction, the program will begin with a professional development day on June 1st, where teachers will receive training on administering the scholastic curriculum, followed by dedicated planning time, and students' instruction will begin on June 2nd through June 26th. As a part of the Students' Day, they will engage in a 90-minute daily teacher-led literacy block with the Summer Lit Camp model, the reimagined Summer Lit Camp model, which includes direct instruction, guided small group work, and independent practice focused on foundational skills, comprehension, and writing. Each teacher will facilitate 2 of those 90-minute instructional periods daily with rotating groups of students. The curriculum offerings were selected based on administrator feedback to best meet the student needs, supporting improved reading outcomes, increased confidence, and a smoother transition into the new school year with reduced learning loss. And next is our Summer Bridge program, where our TK and Kinder Summer Bridge supports students in transitioning to elementary school by building familiarity with the campus, routines, and key staff members in a welcoming environment. Through school tours, structured activities, and classroom experiences, students develop early social skills, learn expectations, and practice routines such as working in groups and following directions. These experiences help build confidence and independence, ensuring students enter TK and kindergarten feeling safe, connected, and ready to learn at their school sites. For 6th grade, the 6th grade Summer Bridge program prepares students for a transition to middle school by building independence and school readiness. Students learn how middle school systems work, including grading practices and tools like Aries, Google Classroom, and other software, while developing organization and note-taking skills. They explore the campus, they understand their daily routines and expectations, and are introduced to activities and supports available to them. Through these experiences, students will leave feeling confident, informed, and prepared for their middle school beginnings. Now I'd like to turn it over to Myra Sanchez, our Coordinator of Secondary Student Achievement.
Good evening. The Ninth Grade Bridge Program is a strategic 5-day initiative that prepares incoming freshmen for high school rigor by focusing on logistical mastery and relationship building. Students transition into campus experts by navigating facilities and gaining an early introduction to grading structures and study skills. Central to this mission is the creative of a supportive community, allowing students to build face-to-face connections with the various school staff and mentors who will guide them throughout their 4-year journey. The program's impact is formally assessed through attendance data and comprehensive student surveys, ensuring that when the doors open on day 1, freshmen walked in empowered, confident, and ready to succeed. Next slide. High school learning. So the high school summer session runs from June 2nd through the 26th. June 1st being the day for staff development. That includes any type of training that we would provide for the staff. Following that teacher day preparation, the students go on to take instruction from 8:30 to 1:30 at all comprehensive and alternative campuses. The curriculum provides direct instruction for first-time learning and credit recovery, alongside dual enrollment, career technical education pathways, and Apex-based virtual learning labs to ensure equitable access. Enrollment includes all these specialized courses, and for newcomers as well. These offerings are determined by student population at each site, allowing for targeted support where the need is the greatest. Program success is monitored through Aries, focuses on daily attendance, final grades, and total credits earned towards graduation. Now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Damon Boyd.
All right. Good evening. This summer, for the 10th straight year, Speech and Debate Camp will open to all students in grades 3 through 12. This is a wonderful opportunity for every student, whether they are just finding their voice or ready to take their skills to the next level. This camp is designed to help every student grow in confidence, communication, and critical thinking. From July 13th through July 24th, students will dive into fun, hands-on activities covering public speaking, debate strategies, teamwork, communications, and performance skills. All within a warm and engaging environment. Students will work with teachers and coaches to guide them into selecting topics that they feel are important and connected to. Students will need parent permissions on script topics before they begin working on them, and camp runs daily from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Carr Intermediate School. Students will build friendships, develop leadership skills, and most importantly, learn how to express their ideas with clarity and confidence. And now I'd like to turn it over to Javier Diaz, our Coordinator of Student Achievement, overseeing Migrant Ed and Newcomer Academy.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to talk to you about 2 wonderful programs that we are providing with EO programs. One of them is the Migrant Ed Summer Program, targeted for English language arts and math for students in grade preschool through 8th grade, using Right Brain curriculum and Shared Roots curriculum. Students will be engaged in culturally relevant and standards-aligned lessons that strengthens reading, writing, and problem solving. Through this work, our program supports academic growth, student engagement, and confidence. We will be at Lincoln, Monte Vista, and Carr Intermediate. And then our second program, which is very close to my heart, is the Newcomer Summer Enrichment Program. This program will be based at McFadden Institute of Technology. We will have an elementary section and an intermediate section, And then also at Santa Ana High School, where we are supporting the newcomers there. We are having 2 teachers per site with an average of 20 students. The program will run from 8 to 12 p.m. through the month of June. So those are the 2 programs that EO programs are supporting. Thank you for your time. Now I'm going to turn it over to Stephen Long.
Thank you, Javier. Good evening, Board. So as students have completed their career education studies within the classroom, this summer they have the opportunity to complete internships in the real world of work. In partnership with United for Student Success, select CTE students will experience what it is like to work as an engineer for L3 Harris, as a biotechnology specialist with either Massimo Patient Care Technologies or Edwards Life Science, or in an allied health career with UCI Medical Center. Such an elevated work-based learning experience provides SAUSD students with an advantage in becoming college and career ready. Now I'm going to turn it over to Marcesi Hernandez, Director of Special Education.
Good evening. ESY is our favorite time of the year in our special ed department. So extended school year is ESY, and it is a legally required extension of the IEP. It is designed to ensure continuity of learning and the prevention of loss of critical skills. This year, ESY services will be offered at 8 hub sites, which include Mitchell Child Development Center, Henninger, Escada, Santiago, Sierra Prep, MIT, and Taft. Our 6th through 8th grade programming is offered at Lydia Romero Cruz. All of our ESY programming is available at every single high school. Also, our Alt Ed and our ATP programs at their normal sites, which is Century and the Rob. Extended school year provides services beyond the regular school year for students whose IEP team determined that extended instruction is necessary to prevent significant regression and support ongoing progress towards IEP goals. These services are determined by the IEP team and are intended to prevent significant regression in key areas of need. Eligibility for ESY services is determined by the IEP team based on individual student needs, and some of the qualifications and discussion within the IEP team meeting include difficulty regaining critical skills after breaks in instruction, the interruption of services, and how it would jeopardize the maintenance of essential life, communication, behavioral, or academic skills, the student needs requiring ongoing consistent instruction to support progress, and others, like the student requiring continued support with skills that are in a critical stage of development and may be lost without continued instruction. It is important to note that ESY services are not based on a disability, category, or placement, but on whether a student requires continued instruction beyond the school year to maintain critical skills and receive a free and appropriate education. Finally, we wanted to share that all of our services as delineated in the IEP are also offered during ESY and may include speech and language, occupational therapy or counseling, as well as supports as assistive technology to ensure access to learning. Together, these services ensure continuity of support and help students maintain critical skills and make meaningful progress towards their IEP goals. Now I will turn it back to Lupita Cruz.
I'm back. Our summer programs are not just about the summer learning opportunities, but also about ensuring students have the supports that they need year-round. And across our sites, we have a very strong team in place. And I know Dr. Perez highlighted some of these folks, and so I want to take the time to highlight our high school counselors, our nurses, our mental health specialists, the nutrition service leads, our office managers, activity monitors, library and media techs, who really are supporting. They're not here, but they're supporting in this effort of our whole child approach and coordinated system of care. These staff members play an essential role in helping students where a student needs health services, emotional support, guidance, access to meals, or simply just caring adults who want to check in on them to make sure that they're doing well. This is part of our commitment to ensuring every child has the services they need to fully engage, grow, and succeed in the summer program. So now I'm going to turn it over to Michelle Desjardins, who is the Executive Director of Support Services, that will go over into more supports. Thank you. Yes, of course.
So during the summer, our district will continue to provide important student supports to help ensure health, safety, and well-being. Our school nurses and our licensed vocational nurses help monitor student health needs, review medical plans and orders. They support medication procedures and respond to illness, accidents, and crisis situations. In addition, our mental health team plays a critical role by identifying students with social emotional needs early on, providing assessments and support, recommending interventions and services, and helping lead crisis response when needed. Together, these supports help us care for the whole child and ensure students have access to the resources they need throughout the summer. And now I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Solomon, Director of Family and Community Engagement.
During the summer, FACE will continue to support families through our FACE resource line. We'll continue to provide programming along with Engage 360 and provide parent education for the TK Kinder and Summer Bridge programs. Some of the FACE staff will be available at select sites throughout the month of June, with all FACE liaisons returning to their school sites in July. FACE will collaborate with Expanded Learning site staff to provide parent training in June, including the 10 Essentials of Education, and will host TK Summer Bridge parent training in July, at the end of July, with school site staff. We will host both district events and support with school events. We're going to host events including the new and updated SAUSD Loteria and parent training at Expanded Learning summer sites. We're going to continue to share information about our food distributions and connect families to resources and supports they may need throughout the summer. Families can reach out to the FACE resource line at 714-972-7660 for assistance. And now I'm going to turn it over to the amazing Josefina Mejia from our Nutrition Services Department.
Thank you, Ms. Solomon. Good evening, board members, Dr. Superintendent, and leadership team. I am very, very happy to be here tonight to talk about our program. So last summer, we served over 271,000 meals across 54 locations. This summer, we will be expanding the services we offer to our community at 61 locations. We have 51 school sites and 10 community parks. We offer breakfast and lunches daily at no cost to all children ages 1 through 18 years old. We hope that by increasing our meal services location, we are bringing meals closer to families. Additionally, La Troquita Verde SAUSD Eco Food Truck will travel throughout the summer to boost access and engagement and maximize the truck's role as rolling classroom. This is more than a meal program. It's a commitment to equity, access, and showing up when it matters most. Thank you for helping us deliver not just meals, but consistency, care, opportunity, and love. Thank you very much. Now I will pass it to Eddie Leon, Building Services.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm back. It's okay. So I will continue with some of our community partners. Our summer offerings are further strengthened by a dynamic partnership with Santa Ana College, offering students specialized pathways that vary by school site to meet their specific academic needs. Under the leadership of one of our very own, Oralia Cordova, who coordinates with individual campuses to select the best fits for their students. Students can choose from high-impact options such as SAT prep, AP boot camps, or a study skills course that offers the unique advantage of dual credit at both the high school and college levels. This collaboration creates a seamless transition to higher expectations, with our district providing the facilities and essential learning materials, while Santa Ana College supplies the expert instructors, specialized training, and faculty compensation. And Lupita will finish off.
Another partnership that we have is working with OC Social Service Agency that provides mental health services as well as our social emotional support for students at 8 of our locations. And this is a no cost. Some of our students who really need it and the extension of the programs will continue. Like I say, we're a wraparound service. I tend to say expanded learning never closes. So that is another additional partnership that we're going to have in the summer. So now I'm going to turn it over to Eddie Leon, the manager of custodial services.
Good evening. Good evening. As maintenance and operations, our work this summer is centered on supporting programs as well as ensuring campuses are clean, safe, and in good repair. We are working closely with school sites to be strategic about summer school placement programs on campus to make sure that students can continue to learn in designated areas while other spaces are available for deep cleaning. This year, we approach this work as a team. We will have designated cleaning days and communicate clear windows when teachers can come back onto campus so that our custodial teams can have the time needed to complete the deep cleaning thoroughly. Principals will also walk school sites with their custodial leads to make decisions on classroom placements. By planning together in this way, we can better support summer programming while ensuring campuses are clean, safe, and secure, and ready for students and staff. Thank you.
Amazing, Eddie. So at this time, we're going to open it up for any questions, if the board has any questions or our students have any questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cruz and the team, for an incredible presentation, so thorough and exciting to see all that really goes into this. The hard work and teamwork is evident. So it was very enjoyable to hear each of your pieces to this beautiful puzzle. So thank you. And with that, I'll open it up to my colleagues to jump onto the speakers list for any comments or questions. Oh, yes, thank you. So for our student board members, we have about 14 minutes until 9 o'clock. So if you want to jump in first, folks are asking if you'd like to get on the speakers list, you're welcome to. I think we can go ahead and Ms. Magdaleno, do you want to kick us off? Okay. Let me.
Yes, I'm really excited for this presentation. And I just want to say thank you to the team in general. When we really talk about it takes a village, I do see that right here. I see the reflection in all of you. And I see everything that you do does not go unnoticed. Our students feel it. We feel it as a board. And we see the work that you guys do day in and day out. So my first question is, when I was in high school, the only summer course I was taking was Spanish to get ahead because I was taking so many other courses. For how long have we had this extensive list of summer programming? Because it's amazing.
In terms of everything that you see here, for quite some time, I don't want to give an accurate year, but for a long time, if that's appropriate.
No, that's amazing. I know, because I can't even imagine the robust program that we have in place now if you're saying that this has been going on for years. So my next question is, how do we identify students to go in specific programmings? I know we have some art programming, some CTE programs. How do we identify students or invite students to participate and also be equitable about it?
Yeah, we do a lot of active recruitment. I know for TK8, I can speak in particular, they all receive flyers, Parent Square. Every single student is given that message along with families to ensure that there's an equitable process to sign up. as well as other programs. They utilize and leverage their administrators at the high school level to ensure that they have access to all of the programs. They're knowledgeable, they're doing presentations and making sure that all the students are aware of that along with the families. So that's kind of how we recruit.
And I'm just like shocked. Over 5,000 students will be serving this summer?
That is actually only for expanded learning numbers that were hot off the press as of 1 o'clock today, or maybe 12 o'clock today. Yeah.
So it would be more than that, right?
Definitely.
How much more do we usually serve in the summer?
I'm not quite sure, because I'm going to be honest. Last year, we didn't have as much integration as we have this year. And this team has worked extremely hard, even though they hear me yapping in the back, at really making sure we're moving the work forward as a system. And so we had all separate numbers. We never had a collective number. So when we come back and we present those outcomes, we can definitely give that to you, but I'm sure we can run some numbers of each individual program and give you that information.
No worries. I just wanted to
100%.
highlight the great work you guys are doing and serving our students, especially the number for our nutrition services. Thank you for feeding our communities day in and day out.
Josefina.
Oh.
Don't be shy.
I wanted to be very clear and transparent. When it comes to the numbers, we went down with the number a little bit due to all of the immigration issues that we had right at the beginning of the summer. But this year, I am very excited and ready for it. Si se puede, that I always say that to my directors. So I am here to ensure we are feeding everybody from 1 year old to 18 years old, regardless of from what corner of Sanana. We are here for them. So thank you very much.
I love it. Solo el pueblo salva el pueblo, ¿verdad?
That is right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I no, you're good. And I also just want to give my kudos to our superintendent, right? I'm assuming that the leadership is from the top, right? We didn't just start working together from 1 year to another. So thank you for bringing us all together and making sure that these programmings continue to a higher level of expectation. And just one last question, because I know my time's over. How do we determine which school hosts which program? Because I did see a lot of our arts programs are at Santiago and Henninger, which is more the north part of the city and a little bit of the center. But what about the other side of the city?
So as it relates to arts, I'll let Lindsay take that question, but as it relates to Expand a Learning program, we expand it to all students. We try our best that we're servicing every single student. So, but I'll let her speak to like the specifics of arts.
Thank you.
Hi. So for the middle school and high school programs, those will be at Carr and Valley, and that was due to the proximity of the two campuses together so they could collaborate and work together, as well as being able to utilize Valley's brand new Performing Arts Center, which is such a gorgeous facility that we can use for the end of year culminating performance. And then for Santiago, as I think all of you are aware of, it's a fantastic program that has been built over the last 10 years or more. So she's really, Sarah Moynette has really gotten her team together where they have gelled really well together, and it's a great example of collaboration so that they can demonstrate how they run their program as that learning model for the rest of the teachers in the other sites, so they can come and see how they can also improve and expand their programs. Henninger, being a K-8 school, that is an automatic feeder. They are already reaching out and asking about opportunities to expand their musical theater programming. And so we're looking for ways to make that more sustainable across sites. So having that be a 3-5 program that then can feed in and feed a potential middle school musical theater program later on, which of course most Henninger students then go to Santa Ana High School, which has a robust performing arts program as well. So that was kind of the thinking behind the selection of sites.
Thank you. And thank you again to the team. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Ms. Lipsack?
Okay, it sounds truly amazing. Like I would want to go, and it brings back memories. I remember when I went to Lowell School, and I was so scared of middle school, and I got to go to summer school at Willard, and as an 11-year-old, that really it eased me, even though I was really upset they didn't have recess. But but I'm just really glad that our kids are going to have this opportunity in so many different ways that they have to choose from. So many different opportunities. How many of our teachers are going to be hired to run these classes? Does
At the
anybody know?
moment, we're currently going through placement. So we just got the numbers for TK8, hot off the press, literally at 12 o'clock. I'm going to reiterate that. Thank you, Ryan, to my support. And so I wouldn't be able to give you an accurate number of how many because high school just is finishing their placement. ESY just finished their placement. So we can give you an accurate number as to how many were placed based on the student needs.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get it back to you as soon as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you. That looks
course.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a magic wand and tell you right now, but there's so many things behind the scenes happening. So we promise we'll get you those numbers.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Bustos?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you all so much for the presentation. You know, I can really just tell from all of you presenting your various sections just how passionate you are about the work, and I want to thank you for that. It really shows, not only in the presentation, but then in the product itself. And so, yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about an integrated summer program, like this is it. Can you actually go to page 4?
Sure.
So page 4 for me, out of this entire presentation, 4, sorry.
Is that 4?
That's
Oops,
7.
let me check.
3 more.
Is that 7? A few more. Okay.
And
I got you.
there.
There you go.
So that is so important to me. And it's so great to see that there. Because I think that this is the piece that obviously is going to inform the work moving forward, right? And I think that this is something that at least in previous presentations, I haven't really caught. And, or at least across the various, you know, from ESY to the arts to CTE to FACE, like this is so critical. And so this makes me very happy to see in the ways that we really are trying to measure like what are our outcomes, and we're collecting data and we're using that to make decisions, right? And so I want to share my appreciation to everybody who contributed to this because this is so critical and it makes me very happy to see that. I did have a question related to the ESY and particularly related to IEPs and how we're ensuring that students with IEPs are meeting their goals. Like who's actually meeting with parents during that extended school year to ensure that students are like meeting their goals, or if there's concerns from parents about students meeting their goals, like who's actually having those conversations with them in the summer? And also, how are we also making sure, again, because of just, we're continuously hearing it, especially during public comment, around making sure that accommodations are being met for our students in special education. So how are we doing that through ESY?
So through ESY, the IEP team is the student's current IEP team during the regular school year who makes a recommendation for summer programming. And within that meeting, they discuss accommodations that the student requires. The majority of our teachers do opt for the extra duty opportunity to work during the summer, and they're able to maintain with their same class, their same students. So they have access to the student's IEP and know the accommodations. For students who may not have their regular teacher as their ESY teacher, they also have access to the IEP document. We provide them with that access. So the expectation is that they review that on their teacher duty day, which is June 1st, so that they're prepared to welcome our students on June 2nd.
Okay. And so if there were, let's say hypothetical, if there was an issue where there is a student in part of the extended school year who didn't have their, the regular teacher that has been part of their IEP team and is assigned a different teacher, and there's concerns that are coming up, right? How is that then handled with the parent? It would be with the teacher that's assigned to them only, or are there other people part of that team in that conversation as well?
So we are fortunate that our coordinators are actually site admin at all of our ESY hub sites. So there is specifically trained administrators to oversee situations specifically like that you mentioned, who would be able to assist the parent in resolving any miscommunication or concerns that may come about during ESY.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you again for the incredible presentation. This is, again, very exciting. I was taking some notes as you went through. I did want to say that slide 4 also captured my attention. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. I think that's my new favorite quote. And it's very encouraging to see that this is kind of like the motto, right? That the teams are gathering around so that we can really know if what we're doing is working. And that is something I have seen from our extended learning team as far as data, right? Like getting the data from the students, getting the feedback, and then looking at the outcomes. And is this partnership, having the outcomes, like for the outcomes-based tutoring, for example. So I just see you scaling this and then scaling it as teams coming together. So very exciting. Thank you. I also love that you're doing the pre and post surveys and different, tangible things to capture that data so that we can really have those conversations and you all can reassess and keep improving so that we can make sure that we're getting our students to those academic goals that we have for them. I also was really excited about the literacy campaign that you mentioned. Did I hear bookmobiles or?
Yeah,
okay, can you share a
bookmobile.
little bit about that?
Yeah, so the students get to experience on a bookmobile. It's kind of like a vehicle that comes, a large, I don't know the name of them, but like those large vehicles that come, I can't think of at the top of my head. It's silly. Yes, a knowledge mobile. Similar to that, where students get to come and check out a book or receive the book when they're arriving on campuses at their school sites. And so it's a different experience versus going to the library. They're getting to do that within that area outside, yeah.
And is that a partnership with the city, with the libraries?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. And then I also noticed the internship placements. Can we go to that slide with Stephen Long? So I was trying to count, I think I counted 70 internships, professional internships. So this is incredible. Can you share a little bit about how this has grown and the goals around this? Mm-hmm.
So we have been bringing capacity to our internship opportunities with students through partnerships with United Way for the past 2 years. And so United for Student Success is a department within the
Stephen,
OC.
Mr. Long, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I realize we have a student speaker. Could we pause on my question? So sorry to interrupt you midway, but I do want to make sure we get to our students. So, Ms. Gomez?
Hi, this is a question regarding the high school communication. Just to reiterate, the information is sent to our administrators, correct?
That's correct.
Is it sent like from there? Do you know where it's sent out to the high schoolers? Like, is it sent out through Parent Square, Remind, presentations, flyers?
Yeah. So this year for the expanded learning program in particularly, it was sent out through flyers this year because we knew there was a communication gap last year. They didn't receive flyers. It was more of like kind of tabling and going out to student lunches. And so we wanted to ensure there was an equitable type of distribution of the materials. So high school students received flyers specifically about the expanded learning programs that are all called different things at every single high school.
All right. As like apart from expanded learning, was it also sent to like other like about other programs? So I saw there was programs about UCI Health, I think, and also like the engineering and the IT, I think it was.
I believe some of the programs, and I'm not sure. Yeah, Steve, do you want to? I'm not sure how you highlight that piece, but I know that they do communicate to administrators and try to do announcements and certain things like that. But I don't know if you want to add any more to that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So in particular with UCI Health, there's some of the engineering opportunities that does require prerequisites are met in the way of having completed a semblance of CTE courses. And so it's pretty much a professional internship opportunity after they've completed foundational learning and have had some simulated experience in the classroom. And so as long as students complete that and meet those standards, we are excited to offer them those opportunities at our partners that you see behind us. So the way that that occurs is through a link that is sent through the teachers who facilitate those given pathways so that those students that are recognized as completers have this opportunity in order of prerequisite, completing a concentrator course, a advanced course, and now a professional internship course at one of the partners you see there.
Okay, so these internships and summer programs are only offered to the students who have met CTE prerequisites, correct?
At this time. But what we are trying to do is, in my talks with Dr. Perez, is internships should be available to anyone who wants to take advantage of a work-based learning opportunity. So we are trying to create some integration. We're building some systems. I'm currently in the design process right now with our team in the Office of Career Education and Workforce Innovation so that we can extend those opportunities to not just students who are in the CTE pathways, but to anyone who would want to get some experience to leverage themselves in a entry-level position.
Okay, just a final question because I'm assuming I have to leave. Is there any way to send out the information through like online means? Because I know sometimes in my classes specifically, this is very specific to my school. We don't get given the papers. We usually just see them in the office, and not many of us go to the office. Is there a way to get like a hold of these opportunities through like Parents Career Remind or anything else?
Absolutely. So we do submit them electronically. We post them on our CTE website for those opportunities that are particular to us. We also have Instagram that we use to make sure that students get access and we meet them where their communication is common. We also provide posters at the school site to illustrate what opportunities are, whether it's in the fall or the spring or the high school. But you're bringing up the exact point of why we're trying to improve communication about opportunities. I hear that there are activities that are best kept secret, but that's not necessarily a good thing. We don't want it to be a secret. We want students such as yourselves and your friends and your peers to know so that they can seize the opportunity and have access to it as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Thank you. And Mr. Long, we can resume. And
Sure.
Thank you for your flexibility. Yeah.
Not a problem. And I'm excited about the partnership that we have with OC United Way and United for Student Success. Again, I shared that they bring the capacity by having corporate sponsors be open to the idea of bringing students into their buildings to get experience in the world of work. And these are elevated, enhanced, advanced experiences that our students are able to, as I shared, get that required 1 to 3 years of entry-level experience that often employers want to see students have. And so through these partnerships with United Way and other partnerships that I'm engaging with and other organizations, we're able to bring these opportunities to our students. This evening, the board saw fit to agree to the contract with the United Way so that this opportunity extends not only for this summer, but through next summer as well, so that we can scale our internship opportunities. We had 53 internship placements last year with United Way. This year, we anticipate 70 or more. I was also told by the executive director of United for Student Success that there may be some opportunities for scholarships, and that is just dependent on some factors for them. But again, we recognize that students want to give their opportunity and for learning through work-based learning, but at times they also need to be having some form of compensation. And so this is a way that we're able to work with partners to be able to meet students where they're at and provide both opportunities.
Thank you for that. And I'm excited to hear that this is through United Way. I think it was a few years ago that I reached out to our, I think then deputy superintendent to connect, I think maybe the director of, is it education, Sergio Contreras? Okay, yes. So very exciting to, at that time he was like, hey, we have these internships. We want to connect with SAUSD. And so to see that now, that means 70 through the work that you've done to bridge us. We now have these 70 internships and growing. So thank you. That's very, very exciting. And I did also want to ask about our newcomer academy at Santa Ana High School. So thank you, Javier. I was curious how did we come about having it at Santa Ana High School specifically and MIT? It says 25 students per site on page 16 for the Newcomer Academy. So just curious, with these numbers, are we going to be able to serve all the demand? And are students going to come to that side of town if they live closer to one school site or the other?
So for McFadden, we kind of try to place it in a location where we can serve a lot of the students around there. McFadden does have a lot of newcomer students because they are K-8. We do have a dedicated newcomer teacher there that has also been doing our Saturday Language Academy as well. So we kind of incorporate, we looked at different, information, and we also recruit around McFadden. So we reach out to Jefferson, Taft, Greenville, Adams, all the surrounding schools, elementary schools, so they can be able to attend a McFadden. Unfortunately, we don't have any transportation, but we talk to parents so they can, are able to drop them off and pick them up. That is for McFadden. We are separating it to have two groups there, two teachers. We're hoping to get about 20 to 25 per teacher. One for the elementary section and the other one for the intermediate section. Santa Ana as well, we have high numbers of newcomers. The highest number of newcomers are actually at Valley, but because we have so many competing programs, especially at the high school, right? And newcomers, they either take summer school for credit recovery or to advance, right? Like somebody mentioned, in a Spanish course. So we're competing with other programs. And if they are getting, elective credits or credits in the summer, it's hard to get them in a summer enrichment program. So this is something that we kind of partnered up with Santa Ana and Principal Enlow. And then we also have two dedicated newcomer teachers there. They're also doing the Saturday Language Academy. So it was all of a bit of a, let's see how we can work it. Obviously, we want to, have a newcomer program at all sites, but we're focusing on the sites that make the most sense by targeting the most amount of students and having the teachers that are already trained.
And you kind of captured my thoughts. I was wondering about Valley High School because I know we have the Newcomer Academy there.
Right.
And so, but what I'm hearing is that while we have the majority of our newcomers or a larger number of newcomers at that site, they are expressing interest in taking other offerings.
Yeah, the good and the bad thing about Santa Ana is that we have so many things to offer students, right? And it's hard to actually pick something, especially for students. But if you look at the numbers, Valley is probably roughly about 75 newcomers, whereas Santa Ana probably has like 65, so it's not too far off. So, and then because we've done it there in the past, it just makes a lot more sense. We tried offering it at Valley. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't have a teacher that, is willing to commit to the summer.
Okay. Okay, maybe that's another question for offline, right? What would that look like to get that support at Valley if it's more of a staffing capacity versus the lack of student interest? Are those conversations that we're having for future?
Yeah, because we've actually done the Saturday Newcomer Academy, right? And we've done it at Valley, but it's, we started strong, but it's hard to get students to come in on Saturdays, or it's hard to get students to come in the summer. So at Valley, even though we have 75 newcomers, the attendance rate for the Saturday Academy was about 5 every Saturday. So the numbers, just didn't make sense. So that's why we targeted Santa Ana, since Santa Ana had a bigger number of enrollment that was actively participating in our Saturday Newcomer Academy. And the teachers there had a stronger relationship with the students, because again, this Newcomer Academy or Newcomer Summer Enrichment is all about making those connections with the students, and then obviously helping them out and enriching their language through all, different various means, right? Whether it's playing tennis and having those social interactions in English, and then practicing LPAC test prep as well. So there's a little bit of everything involved. We looked at the data, and again, this is about our 4th year that we're having the summer enrichment program. So throughout the years, we've offered it to different various sites, but right now that's Santa Ana and McFadden. Hopefully next year we can offer it to a lot more sites, but our newcomer numbers are also going down as well. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Wanted to add a little
Oh,
more.
please. Okay, thank you.
So we're also looking at, when I'm doing the placements for the high school level, I wanted to focus on the fact that even though we're having this at Santa Ana High School, we're not allowing the other schools to go unnoticed. So I want to focus on the fact that Valley High School is having ELD specific courses for students through the course requests. And we have a dedicated teacher that will be doing that during the summer. So as much as we might not be doing this, the ELD component is still occurring at that location. Same thing at Century High School. We have a dedicated ELD teacher who will be teaching the newcomer students. So we do have programs at multiple school sites. It's just not this specifically. Does that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it'd be helpful maybe to get some more information in the B2B about kind of just getting a little bit more in the weeds of what this program looks like versus what that the ELD designated time for the students, to give us a better picture of how we're providing those services. And I'm interested, now you got me very interested in how can we, what are the gaps, right? How can we engage those students so that it's more than the 5 students who are coming on Saturday, or is it, outside obligations, or is there something that we can do to, that as a board we can support? So if there's anything we can do, I would love to help with that. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I see we have Ms. Lebsack.
I was curious, are we opening this up to students outside of our district? Or not even, students that aren't enrolled in Santa Ana Unified. They might live in Santa Ana Unified, they might go to charter schools, but this is attractive, and maybe this is a way that we're marketing our district to increase our enrollment. I'm just curious.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay.
We haven't discussed that at this time.
Okay. Well, could it be an option?
For the ELOP funding, it has to be students that are enrolled in Santa Ana Unified School District particularly.
I see.
But I'm assuming from general fund and other purposes, our priority is our SAUSD students first to ensure that they get the services that they need.
What other districts in Orange County are doing this?
You know what? I'm going to be very honest. I see this as a future presentation because I haven't seen another integrated summer as intentional as this one. And I'm not trying to toot our own horn or anything like that, but I have seen presentations with the county, but they're not as integrated as this and have as many options as we have.
Yeah, I've never seen this many options. That's why I'm saying it could be a really good marketing piece.
Yeah.
So
I do know the one thing is for incoming TK that are pre-enrolled, we're servicing them. So we have dedicated classes and spots for our incoming TK specifically for expanded learning to ensure that we're not creating barriers for incoming students that want to be Santa Ana students. So I can tell you that. That's definitely a change from last year to this year.
that's great. All right, thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And then lastly, I just wanted to highlight the maintenance and operations piece. Again, I love seeing and just all the departments coming together and collaborating and coordinating, scheduling. You all make it look so beautiful and seamless that it's, anybody would want to be part of this team. But I have had the opportunity to go out to our sites and see our folks during the summer doing this work. And so just want to thank, everyone from maintenance and operations to all the teams for the work you do that sometimes, is during the summer, things after hours that we might not see. And just thank thank all of you and your departments for collaborating and making this system just become stronger and stronger. It truly is a beautiful operation to view from this side of the dais and hear you all share so proudly about each of your components and then see how it comes together. And I know our students and families are the ones that are going to benefit from that. And I do believe you when you say that there probably isn't another school district out there that has taken the programs to this level. So congratulations and thank you for the presentation. And I'll pass it back to Dr. Perez.
Thank you. I was just going to ask if you'd indulge me for a second. I do just want to thank the team. It is, and I appreciate the board for seeing the integration. Something, interesting that I find. Sometimes we were in a place where we felt like we needed permission to, integrate with one another. And I think you guys know that is what I expect and the ask, and like it just brings me joy as well. And I know it does to the rest of our cabinet, because we talk a lot about that prior state when it was like people needed permission to engage with each other and to make decisions. You don't need that. I mean, you have that. I don't know if you needed it, but you have that permission. You know what our students need, and you know how best to serve them. And we trust you guys, and just love seeing how everything came together. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you again. And next we have a public hearing. This meeting is now open to conduct a public hearing for the California School Employees Association Chapter 41 initial reopener proposal to the Santa Ana Unified School District for the 2026-2027 school year. Ms. Quiros, is there anyone wishing to address this subject?
There is no one.
Okay, hearing none, I now declare the public hearing closed. We will now go to our regular agenda action items, and Ms. Quiro, you may begin.
Item 15.1, approval of new job description, coordinator, athletics, and compliance.
Okay, can I get a motion in a second?
I make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Lebsack?
I know that one of the requirements of the athletics compliance director, right, is to, coordinator, is to make sure that we're in compliant with Title IX. And I guess I wanted to ask, how do we define Title IX? Is it according to state or federal definition?
Ms. Flores, would you and or other members of the team, I actually see Dr. Alvarado. Yeah, thank you.
Title IX is defined federally. It's a federal definition.
Okay, so it's based on sex, not based on gender identity.
Yes.
Okay. That would imply then that our policies would be different.
Our policies would be different?
Well, yeah, because our board policy that we do with our overnighters, it would impact that policy.
I just want to do like a reminder that this item, right, is not about our policy. This is about a job.
Right, and part of the job description is that he will make sure that we're compliant with Title IX. So it's important to know what our Title IX is and what Title IX we're going by, state or federal.
But there are also some local decisions that we would make in terms of student participation in sports that would fall under our California Ed Code and a local board decision.
Oh, okay, so as of right now, according to this board, biological boys can compete against girls in sports.
I haven't encountered that situation yet. So if we had a situation, then we collectively as a district would need to decide on what the participation would look like.
It's happened already at Century with our track. Okay, thank you.
I just want to be mindful, and Dr. Perez, can you share, as board members, I think we should be very careful when we talk about student-specific information here at the dais.
Yeah, I would agree. That information is not, to my knowledge, that I don't know that to be true. So
It doesn't have to be one of our students. It can be us competing against another school district.
Well, either way.
Either way.
We don't want to talk about disclosed student information here at the dais and get into that. So let's go ahead. I don't see anyone else on the speakers list. I'm going to go ahead and call
Wasn't on the news.
the vote.
It's not a secret. It's in the news.
Okay, so let's go ahead and vote. Okay, with the 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.2.
Approval of declaration of need for fully qualified educators for 2026 to 2027 school year.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, let's proceed to vote. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.3.
Approval of memorandum of understanding with California School Employees Association, Chapter 41, regarding classified work calendars for the 2026 to 2027 school year.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Ms. Lebsack, will you put your mic on? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, let's prepare to vote. The 4 yes vote, motion carries. Item 15.4.
15.4, authorization to reject and rebid all bids for the athletic field synthetic turf replacement project at Willard Intermediate School.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, let's proceed to vote. The 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.5.
Authorization to reject and rebid all bids for the athletic field synthetic turf replacement project at Saddleback High School.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, we can proceed to vote. Okay, with the 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.6.
Authorization to reject and rebid all bids for the athletic field synthetic turf replacement project at Santa Ana High School.
Okay, can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, let's prepare to vote. With the 4 yes vote, motion carries. Move to 15.7.
Adoption of resolution number 2526-3731, authorizing filing of applications for state allocation board administered programs for the Santa Ana Unified School District.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's prepare to vote. Okay. With a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.8.
Adoption of resolution number 2526-3732, proclaiming May 4th through the 8th, 2026 as National Teacher and Support Staff Appreciation Week.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second? I'll go ahead and motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Okay, we can proceed to vote. The 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.9.
Adoption of resolution number 2526-3733, proclaiming May 6th through the 12th, 2026 as School Nurses Week.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
I'll go ahead and second. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, on lines 30 through 32, it says school nurses are integral members of school-based teams, collaborating with medical professionals to create a comprehensive network of support for students. So my question is Hazel Health still a part of our SAUSD comprehensive network? And do we still have a telehealth partnership with them?
Ms. Lipsack, this item is a celebratory recognition. It's not an item about our contracts.
It's saying that we collaborate with medical professionals, and I'm asking, who are they? Who are the medical professionals that we collaborate with? Is it Hazel Health?
Well, I think that if you have that question, we can request that in the B2B.
I've already
Again,
requested it.
Have you
a
not
couple weeks
rec-
ago. So I figured we
Okay.
probably have the answer by now.
Have you not received the information?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Probably about 2 weeks ago.
Well, this is not the moment for that. This is a celebration for the nurses that work in our district. So I know our superintendent stepped away, so I'm gonna look to the cabinet. Okay, we can get the, by Friday? Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the vote. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, motion carries. Thank you. 15.10.
Adoption of resolution number 2526-3734, proclaiming May 2026 as National Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Lepsak?
Yeah, on lines 31 through 35, it says, whereas community-wide efforts that integrate schools, parents, healthcare providers, and local organizations are essential. And I'm just asking that, especially since on one of our other resolutions, it talks about with national teacher and support staff, that we include parents in this. And I just think that since we do have community schools and we do work with so many different organizations and partner with them, it would be great if on a B2B, I would like to have a list of what are all the different groups that we partner with, because sometimes it gets confusing and it feels like a spaghetti bowl. And I just like to know who are all these different outside agencies that have access to our students, so I could have it on one piece, one document. So I'm going to request that for a B2B. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the vote. With a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.11.
Adoption of resolution number 2526-3735, proclaiming May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 as Classified School Employee Week.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion? Okay. I'm just gonna take a quick moment to thank really all of our staff. I know we recognize a lot of staff tonight. As a classified school employee myself, I have to take a moment to just give a shout out to our classified employees, but of course, I appreciate everything all of our district employees do. And I just want to share that, we see you, we see the work you do on our campuses, really all of our educators, classified, certificated, and everybody that was mentioned tonight. So thank you for all the work that you do. We see the heart that folks pour into our schools and our community. We know that many of our employees are from our community or have worked in our community for many years and have grown to love our students and families like their own. So it's evident in the work that you do on our campuses. So thank you. And with that, I'll go ahead and call the vote. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 1512.
Adoption of revised board policy 5113.12, District School Attendance Review Board.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Okay, I'll go, Ms. Lebsack seconds, okay. Any discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.13.
13.
13, thank you.
15.13, adoption of revised board policy 6146.1, high school graduation requirements.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Okay, I'll go ahead and second. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Lebsack?
Yeah, I know on this policy, it talks about ethnic studies being a requirement for graduation, 10 credits, and which would be a whole year. So my question is, I know when we passed that resolution, there was a wrong statement on the resolution saying that it is mandated by law, AB 101, and we said here verbally that no, it is not mandated by law because it's not funded by the state. Did that get corrected? Ms. Brazier-Sevis, did that get corrected? on
Dr.
our
Alvarado.
Oh, okay, I just
coming to
thought she
address.
might know.
Yes, it did. And we also updated the language on the waiver form that we have for students.
Okay, great, thank you. Nice haircut, by the way.
Okay. Let's go ahead and vote. Okay, with a 4 yes vote, motion carries. 15.14.
Adoption of revised board policy 6146.4, differential graduation and competency standards for students with disabilities.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Any discussion? Okay, let's prepare to vote. The 4 yes vote, motion carries. Okay. At this time, we will go to new and revision of existing board policies for first reading. No action is required. Ms. Quiros, you may begin.
16.1, Board Policy 3550, Food Service, Child Nutrition Program, revised for first reading. 16.2, Board Policy 3551, Food Service Operations, Cafeteria Fund, revised for first reading. 16.3, Board Policy 3553, Free and Reduced Price Meals, revised for first reading. 16.4, Board Policy 3400, Management of District Assets, Accounts, revised for first reading. Board Policy 4157, Employee Safety, revised for first reading. 16.6, Board Policy 4257, Employee Safety, revised for first reading. 16.7, Board Policy 4357, Employee Safety, revised for first reading. 16.8, Board Policy 6142.3, Civic Engagement, revised for first reading.
Thank you, Ms. Quiros. And now we will begin board reports. I want to open it up to my colleagues. I'm going to go ahead and recommend that we do 3 minutes to make sure we get folks home before 10. Does that sound good to folks? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so we can go ahead and begin with Ms. Magdaleno.
Yeah, I wanted to do a comment on our board policy on civic engagement, but I'll use this time to make that comment. So I think it was early January or February, Board Vice President Bustos and I met with our superintendent, and we're like, we have all these ideas that we want to bring to our district and all of these policies that we want to expand. And the civic engagement was a piece that we were really advocating for. And I'm happy to see it come forward and now approved for first reading. And I just want to let the community know what is coming into this policy and how we're expanding, right? It's formalizing our student voter registration efforts. We are designating a voter outreach coordinator. We're strengthening participation during high school voter education week. But most importantly, we are integrating voter education into our 11th and 12th grade history and government classes, which is very important. I think before we were working with Save Votes, and they were doing a great job during that 1 or 2 week. But I think that we are being intentional about this, and I just appreciate the team for putting in the work in this and bringing this forward. And I can't wait to see how this plays out in all of our classrooms. And I know there's some posters for this, so I'm excited to see that, see those posters going up around our high schools especially. during voter registration week. So thank you to the team. And those are the ends of my comments. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Magdaleno. And you know what? I apologize. I did hear you wanted to make comment, and I was waiting for you on the speaker list, but I didn't open the speaker list. So that was just an oversight. But thank you for your comments. And Ms. Lebsack?
Actually, I had comments on the civic engagement as well, and I sent this email to President Brazier Seves. So I want to bring this question up for us to discuss it before I actually vote on this. That in California, 1 in 5 kids live in mixed status families, and many have at least one undocumented parent, and this can create confusion and delayed awareness of one's immigration status. This happened to one of my students where they were senior and did not know they were undocumented, and that's why I want to bring this up. An undocumented minor who registers to vote and falsely claims U.S. citizenship can face serious consequences under both federal and state law. This includes potential criminal charges for voter fraud, fines, and possible involvement in the juvenile justice system. More importantly, making a false claim of citizenship, even if it's unintentional, can trigger severe immigration penalties, including deportation, and a permanent bar from obtaining legal status in the future. Even if the person is a minor, these immigration consequences can follow them into adulthood and are often very difficult to reverse. Schools cannot ask if a student is undocumented. So how are we in SAUSD going to assure that undocumented students do not make this mistake and register to vote and thus incriminate themselves? And I hope that that question can be fully examined and answered before we vote on this next time, this board policy. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Bustos?
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank all of the public, the folks from our community that came out to give public comment tonight. I think everybody touched on, topics that were important. And I look forward to hearing updates from our staff, specifically related to the piece around enrollment, and just continuing to receive updates on conversations that are happening with parents around special education. And so, again, I want to thank, community members who, again, came out tonight and gave public comment. Last week, I had the opportunity to do some site visits, so I had a chance to go to Martin, Lincoln, and for ID purposes, I know we're changing the name, Chavez High School. And so it was a great opportunity to just be able to connect with students, our educators, our classified staff, and our administrators at those campuses, and hear about, just all of the great things happening, and be able to see students in action in the classroom. And, I just want to thank all of them for welcoming me and accommodating my visit. I also had the opportunity to it's been a while actually since we've had a regular board meeting, so I was going through my calendar. I was like, let me kind of go through everything. So it's a list. But I had a chance to also just recently this past weekend attend the Math Field Day, which was a great opportunity to be able to see all of our students super excited to represent their school, and just see how all of them were so excited about math. Couldn't be me. Like I told them during the award ceremony, every single year I wanted to be part of the math field team, but I never made the cut. And so I was just glad to be there one way or another. But yeah, it was just such a great experience to be able to see them so excited and just really, see them working together. Some of them were really frustrated. They couldn't open that damn box and open the case to get the rest of the questions that they had to answer. So some of them were really struggling, but it was a really great experience just to see them so excited about, being able to work collaboratively and do some math. And I also want to thank the team over at Godinez for, again, hosting such an amazing senior exit interview experience for us to take part in. Thank Mr. Church and his team for always having such an organized event and always including us in the board, inviting us to that event. And then finally, I do want to recognize just some of our arts and just thanking the team for the invitation to be to join and listen and be part of the choral share, where they brought together high schools and intermediates to be able to share and sing together and just be in community together. So another great event, another great example of the work that we're doing to uplift the arts here in Santa Ana Unified. So with that, thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. I want to start off my board comments this evening by putting out a request to get consensus with the board and asking our superintendent to bring forward I'd like to add an open session to our next board meeting. We have closed session, but I'd like to do so in order for us to have an opportunity to celebrate our California Distinguished Schools. And so the superintendent and I were discussing just how significant that this is. We have Middle College, we have MacArthur and Godinez, who've been identified as California Distinguished Schools, and what a great honor that is. And we're talking about how much work goes into that and how much a team strives for that. And so in order to give us an opportunity as a board to really create a space for them to be celebrated and to hear from them and celebrate this achievement as a district, my proposal is that we add an open session to the May 12th board meeting, specifically for that piece. So I'm just looking to my colleagues for consensus. And this would be a chance for us to just kind of briefly congratulate them and then really hear from their leadership about this, the work that went into achieving this. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then, yes, go ahead. Will you pause my time?
I'm gonna keep it going. Just kidding. I do have just a logistical question around that. I know, I guess I'm curious how that's gonna work. Are we gonna do a closed session discussion first and then come out, or do that piece first and then go into closed
I
session?
would suggest that we do the celebration for our schools first, and then the closed session is my first part of my evaluation.
Right.
So we can stay here all night.
Right, and we probably will be, so, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Good question. And then we can restart my time. Thank you. So other than that, I also was looking back in my calendar. I want to thank the principal and team over at Mendez Fundamental Intermediate for holding the press conference that our community had as we advocated for a Sylvia Mendez Day. It was really special to have her there and have our current students get to meet her and just hear the conversations that were happening on campus. I had the opportunity to participate in their Kinder Caminata, which is always inspiring. And thank you to Santa Ana College for hosting us. And I'm glad our littles got to see the new renovations. It's beautiful on campus. And I was able to run into some of our recent graduates from last year and see them there at Saks volunteering. So that was beautiful. I also got to stop by the Valley High School open house. I want to, again, congratulate the team there and teacher Vasquez, Mr. Vasquez, for the unveiling of the art projects that he did with his ethnic studies students as part of a community initiative called Poderosas. Miss Lisa Solomon, who's here in the audience with us, was recognized and her portrait was unveiled, and it was beautiful. So this was to honor local women from Santa Ana who embody the values of our district and our community, and it was a beautiful event. Also open house at Jackson Elementary and our Mariachi Festival and Godinez Senior Exit interviews. So thank you. And we will now adjourn the meeting. Having no further business to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned. The next regular board meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Thank you. Record timing. What time is it? I'm gonna take a screenshot. 9:46. Go team.